presented by Kia Zera. Welcome to the Columbia, Missouri. As the number 3 team in the nation, the Oklahoma Sooners matches up with the surprising Missouri Tigers. Hi, everybody. I'm Joel Myers alongside Dave Lapham, and welcome to Mizzou. Well, the Tigers, Dave, for only the 3rd time since 1983 are 3-1 out of the gates. But this is going to be their first severe test. And how do they keep up with the tailback? And a lot of people have asked this question. Keep up with Quentin Griffin of Oklahoma.
Well, he is special, Joel. He's the leading rusher in Oklahoma, averaging over 7 yards a carry. They list him at 5'7". Truthfully, he's probably closer to 5'5". He hides behind those big offensive linemen. And then he busts out into the open field, and he's got extreme elusiveness. He always makes the first guy miss. He's the first running back that's caught the football for 1,000 yards. He blocks well. Totally complete player, totally unselfish.
We can't wait to see the redshirt freshman quarterback for the Missouri Tigers, Brad Smith. He comes in 3rd best in the Big 12 in rushing, and they're going to be after him. Now, can he deal with the speed of the Oklahoma defense?
Well, that's the $1,000 question tonight, and he is the leading rusher for his football team, averaging over 7.5 yards per carry, and he makes every throw. But the thing that makes him special is his makeup. Totally poised, and that goes to game management. He does not make mistakes with the football. He does not beat his own football team, but he's only played, this will be his 5th NCAA game, and he hasn't seen the speed that Oklahoma will present tonight. Will he upgrade his level of play? I think he can.
Well, Mizzou has lost the last 13 out of 14 to the Oklahoma Sooners. We'll see if they can pull off the upset.
Something's not right.
They have already won a national championship once in his first 3 seasons, came close another time, and this is the man that could turn it around for the Missouri Tigers. His 2nd season as determined as Bob Stoops, as we met with Coach Binkle and his assistants yesterday, as Savage and Perkins are back. And here comes the opening kickoff from Michael Matheny. It's going to be Antonio Perkins, the great return man, across the 20, and a flag down to the play as he's down to the 27-yard line. It'll go as the field judge threw it from a good distance. It'll go against Oklahoma. Brian Fuller making the stop on the special teams for Mizzou.
Did you see that bunch formation that Missouri ran?
So the flag against Oklahoma. They'll start inside their own 20-yard line. And our Kia Zera starting lineup offensively with Nate Hibble getting the call due to the injury. Another torn ACL for White, the starting quarterback. Up front, Sims, Davis, Carter, Skinner, and Brown. Plenty of experience up there for Oklahoma. And what about the skill guys? Savage and Fagan. We also talked about Quentin Griffin at the top. Peoples moving into the starting lineup this year. The tight end is Trent Smith. And they will start way back inside their own 15, outside of the 11. For the senior from Hazelhurst, Georgia, a transfer from the Georgia Bulldog program. Hibble goes at 6'4", 220 pounds. Now, how many touches does Quentin Griffin get? The senior from Aldine, Texas. Hibble looking for the shovel, instead underneath. And a good hit immediately on Antoine Savage. Taurus Ferguson, the rover back defensively for the Missouri Tigers. Their first 11 presented by Kia Zera with a flag down to the play. Bynum, Wright, Bell, and Ellison, a very youthful group up front. Now it's a 4-2-5. The whip is like an extra safety. That's Jason Thompson. Linebackers Doyle and Kinney. Then Jones had 3 picks last week. You've got Ferguson and King. The other 2 safeties. In the other corner is Michael Harden, the junior from Kansas City, a former walk-on.
Well, they're talking about the penalty right now with one of the captains, Kenny, a linebacker from Missouri. Oklahoma looks like Missouri's going to move him back inside the 10-yard line. This is just what they wanted, a long field for Oklahoma and a short field for themselves.
An ineligible receiver downfield on Oklahoma. 5 yards from the previous spot. Replay first down.
And Joe, Missouri came out right away trying to confuse Oklahoma's blocking pattern on a kickoff return by bunching all their cover guys in 2 spots and then unfolding. And what you have to do as a return team is point out your guy and stay with him, and they confused who they were supposed to block.
Jones is in the backfield. It'll be Kewan Jones, and he's belted to the 5, spins free up until the second man gets him at the 8 near the 9, Sean Doyle. The senior from Overland Park, Kansas, along with Wright. And Keith Wright, one of the best defensive linemen in the Big 12, a senior junior college transfer from Sacramento, California. He was second team all Big 12 last year, and the coaches told us, don't know if we trade him for anybody right now, the way his motor's running.
And I'll tell you, Joe, very disruptive. He gets in the enemy backfield, 10 tackles for loss already in 4 football games. He's an amazing athlete.
Quentin Griffin. He's hit early. They slice him down across the 12 near the 13. The young man we're talking about, great pursuit by a 6'2", 285-pounder, Keith Wright.
Well, we were talking about how short Quentin Griffin is. And 5'5", maximum. Look at him in the huddle. You know, that in front of his offensive lineman, they just engulf him. He disappears. You know, there goes Quentin. I mean, he's a head and a half shorter than everybody. And when he hides behind those offensive linemen running the football, it's tough for defenders to find him. And then he makes them miss so easily.
Oklahoma hitting on 39% of their first down so far this season. It's a 3rd and long. Hibble from the gun. He's got all day. And he's got a wide open receiver for the first down. Taking it in, Curtis Fagan, the senior from Houston. Honorable mention all Big 12 last year. So deep in their own territory. What a pick-me-up for the Sooners right away from an offense that struggled a little bit last week.
And Hibble can do this. He's great with the long ball and the intermediate routes. And he does a good job of finding his receiver who breaks away from Harden. Just a deep out pattern, and the ball is right on the money, showing good arm strength. Fagan just runs a deep out and gets separation from Harden. And Hibble put it right on the numbers. Very accurate throw on 3rd and long.
Well, let's face it, though, Dave. He had a half hour to throw. Mizzou gives him that much time. He's going to pick him apart. There's Savage running up the back of his own blocker. Antoine Savage on the catch. The senior from Albany, Georgia. And King all over the play. Ferguson as well.
Well, this is just a wide receiver screen, and one wide receiver has to block for the other. Fagan goes in motion. He's a crackback blocker, and he gets stood up and knocked backwards. I mean, that's nice physical nature right there in the secondary. And I'll tell you, that's one of the better football players they have. Ferguson is a converted running back, very athletic, great blitzer, and he showed how tough he is on that play.
And last year was his first year on defense. Griffin. Instead, the shovel pitch. Ronaldo works with blocking, and he's got a first down across the 40. Great deception of the play fake to Griffin. Going one way, Ronaldo works, is 6'1", 210-pound junior from Tulsa. Well, they really do have diversity in the backfield.
Tremendous misdirection. Watch the action right here in the backfield, little crossing action. Think, oh, here's the handoff there. No, it's option down the line of scrimmage and pitch. And look at all the action here. It froze everybody on going one way, going to the left. It came down the line of scrimmage and option to the right. Great call.
First down from the 41. Griffin in the backfield. Hibble with plenty of time going for the bundle. He's got it inside the 25. Will Peoples, a sophomore from Humboldt, Texas, on the reception.
Marcus King in coverage. And what Hibble gets done is the deep ball. He grew up throwing the deep ball, and it all starts with pass protection to give his quarterback enough time to throw the football. Twisting, stunting inside, and look, everybody for Oklahoma just stones Missouri at the line of scrimmage. Look at the vision that Hibble has, separation. Nobody within 5 yards of him. Easy throw, Peoples makes the adjustment, King can't. Great pass protection, throw, and catch.
Hibble audibilizing, checking off at the line with Griffin in the backfield. From the Missouri 21, it's a first down. Griffin scrambling his way inside the 20 to the 17 for a gain of 4. Well, let's face it, this early in the game, Mizzou is going to have to make adjustments, and they've got to get heat on the quarterback Hibble, or they're going to be dead this afternoon.
Oh, absolutely, because one of the concerns that Missouri had as a coaching staff was Oklahoma's speed at wide receiver matching up with the secondary members of Missouri. They were afraid of the double moves. Well, there haven't been any double moves. They've just run by people. So that mismatch that was a concern for the Missouri staff has proven true.
Works and Griffin flanking Hibble. Hibble in trouble, and he's down behind the 25. Slicing through Torres Ferguson, the young man we were just talking about, who's only in his second season on the defensive side of the line.
Well, that had to be a busted play right there. Hibble absolutely isn't the design runner here, and he's looking for somebody to get rid of the football to. Ferguson comes off the edge and just detonates the play.
Was it a shovel pitch to Works, maybe?
I think Works was supposed to work his way underneath and receive a left-handed shovel pitch from Hibble, and he was nowhere to be found, and Hibble just ate the football. Didn't want to risk an interception. Now, you know, you can throw it at the feet. It's only an incompletion, not a fumble on a shovel pass.
3rd and 15 for the Missouri 27. And another change and a timeout for Oklahoma, their first of the contest. So it started way back at the Sooners 11. They have mixed run and pass, mostly pass, though, with a deep ball from Hibble. We'll find out what they do on 3rd and long when we come back to Columbia. 20, but sets up. Good field position for the field goal attempt as Kinney caught up with him. The linebacker near the 16.
Well, the aborted shovel pass comes up large because if Hibble doesn't have to take those yards in loss, they might have a first down. But Missouri ran a nice stunt in the defensive line, and they consumed Ronaldo Works, Hibble's intended target. And instead of throwing the ball at the feet, he took a sack in the red zone. So now Oklahoma has to settle for the field goal attempt.
Trey DiCarlo, true freshman from Carrollton, Texas, with a 34-yard drive. The lefty will try to hook it from the far side hash mark. And he pushed it. Yep. Oklahoma comes up empty. So DiCarlo came into the game 4 for 5. He's now missed 2, and Mizzou gets it for the first time. Shirt freshman quarterback with Zach Abram in the backfield, and they're throwing the slant on first down as it's knocked away from Justin Gage. His first catch of the day, and it's a record setter. Well, Brad Smith, 98 yards a game. The redshirt freshman from Youngstown, Ohio, leads the attack for Missouri. Kyocera is starting 11 for the Tigers. Dreggy, Palmer, the experience on the left side, Ricker, Giannino, and Pathrath up front. And Abram and Gage, Outlaw, James, and Fredrickson, the skill guys. It'll be Abram plugging his way across the 25. Between the tackles, tough running against this Oklahoma defense. He gets 7. And now for one of the best defensive units in the country, the Kia 7 starting lineup defensively for Oklahoma. Wilkerson, Harris. Keep your eyes on 97 today. Klein up front along with Jackson. Jackson, Mitchell, Teddy Lehman. For the linebackers, Perkins on one corner, Derek Strait on the other, Bassey and Everidge. And a lot of people around the country have gotten to know these names over the last couple of years. Oklahoma has been that efficient defensively. Now 3rd and 3 for Missouri. Will Smith keep it in his own hands? Will he run for it? He's looking for a seal, and he maneuvers. He gets it across the 30. Boy, what patience by a redshirt freshman. Dave, he didn't exactly rush the play, did he?
No, he didn't. He showed that poise and patience that we've heard so much about. And when you're an All-American like Tommy Harris, you get double teamed. He's fighting a groin injury right now. He's still not 100%. Gets chop blocked right there. And he went down like a big old timber. He's not happy about that, but you get a lot of attention paid to you when you're Tommy Harris. And I'll tell you, the coaches for Oklahoma said, we don't want 3rd and medium because Smith will kill you on 3rd and medium. Too many options. We want 3rd and long.
Smith looking at the quick rhythm play. In trouble and gets away from Harris. He had room, but he'll throw instead, and he's close to a first down as the catch is made by Marcus James, a junior from Liberal, Kansas. So he could have run for a few yards, but he saw about 8 or 9 in front of him.
Oh, that's another creation of a play by a true freshman, a redshirt freshman, 18 years old. Won't be 19 years old until December. And all he did that time was stiff-arm the All-American Tommy Harris to the ground and get out of pocket and throw the ball for positive yards. 1 yard short of a first down. This kid is special.
Well, Gary Finkel told us yesterday, so you got to remember when he made his official visit, he was a senior in high school. He was still only 16.
Right.
First down, make it 2nd and a yard for Mizzou. Abram maneuvering and angling. He's got a first down to the 44. Shut down out of the secondary by the linebacker, Lance Mitchell. And a good job because after reversing his field, if Mitchell doesn't get him, it could have been a big gainer for Missouri, working against an Oklahoma defensive unit that comes in today 10th best in the nation, giving up only 262 yards a game. They're 9th against the run. That is 88 a contest they hold their opponents to. And 5th best in scoring defense. So that's what Missouri's got to deal with today.
And all that team speed, they're fast everywhere.
Out of the gun, it's a draw. Smith breaking tackles and barely tripped up after a gain of 4. Everidge got him the free safety. He is elusive. He got away from Tommy Harris in the backfield. 2nd and long for Missouri at the 48 of the Tigers. Abram again, making a miss. He's got a first down. And this young man as well is off to a sensational start for the Missouri Tigers. He comes in 6th best in the Big 8, or Big 12, I should say, in rushing, Dave. 82 yards a game.
Well, I'll tell you what was done on the backside of the offensive line. on the top of the screen. Watch the cutoff block. Lead block by the fullback. Tremendous effort. Pancake here on the front side. But look at this seam. Look at the backside right here. Just blow it up. Now it's one-on-one. He makes the unblocked guy miss. Zach Abram does. Nice play. Nice blocking up front. A huge, huge cavity. The Red Sea Party.
First down, Missouri in Oklahoma territory at the 43. Smith in trouble. Overshooting his man, and he's lucky it wasn't picked off as he wanted to go to the tie at end, Ben Fredrickson. So that was the first poor pass or decision we've seen from Brad Smith.
Well, Brad Smith, you talked about when he was a senior in high school, Joel, 16 years old. When he came to Missouri, 6 feet, 178 pounds, only 17 years old. Now, 6'3", 200 pounds, a late bloomer. They've got themselves a diamond in the rough. His upside potential is enormous, and his learning curve is going straight vertical on a daily basis.
Now on 2nd and 10, quick one underneath. Gage has the record. He is now Missouri's all-time reception leader as he's brought down by Teddy Lehman. So congratulations to a guy that has persevered. Played basketball early in his career. Came in with 151 career catches. That tied him with Kenny Holly. Has surpassed the totals of Holly, who was set between 90 and 93.
I'm sure he wishes it was more than a 1-yard reception, but it is a record. And I'll tell you, this guy is, now that he's concentrating solely on playing the wide receiver position, he's really polishing his route running abilities, running more precise routes, getting in and out of cuts. Got great hands and great size, obviously, because of that basketball.
Now 3rd and 9, press coverage on the outside. Smith looking for Gage on the slant, and it's deflected at the line. It was deflected before it ever got close to Gage, so a punting situation coming up for Missouri.
And Missouri will once again play field position, try to pin Oklahoma back inside their own 10-yard line and make them go long field. Because of that poor field position on the first drive, even though Oklahoma moved the football, they couldn't score. The field goal was missed.
This young man may be the key to the attack for Missouri today because he's got to keep it away from Antonio Perkins, and who's had 2 punt returns for touchdowns already this year.
He'll directional kick it to his left on this time. Kick it away from Perkins to his left. The punter's left.
Brock Harvey, as you said, angling it over to the near side, over the head of Perkins, and it takes a Missouri roll, but it doesn't die. It hits softly inside the 10, finds the end zone. So a short one net-wise for Brock Harvey, as it was only a net of 22 yards on the punt, and now Oklahoma has it for the second time at their own 20-yard line.
Well, Perkins not only 2 punt returns for touchdowns, Joel, 91 and 82 yards, long returns for touchdown.
Now, Quentin Griffin, the one who always gets so many touches on our healthy choice leaderboard among Division 1A running backs. He's got 32 consecutive with at least 1 catch. He's got over 1,000 yards in that department. The only running back ever in Oklahoma history to do that. This time it's Kewan Jones. And he's dropped trying to turn the corner by James Kinney. Good speed by the sophomore from Kankakee, Illinois. Kewan
Jones is their short yardage specialist. Normally, he's got 6 rushing touchdowns. He's been the goal line short yardage guy, giving Mr. Griffin a little bit of a break on that play. Griffin checks back into the football game, and Jones checks out.
A gain of about 3. Call it 2nd and 7. 10 minutes gone in the opening 15 minutes of play. Hibble looking underneath. Close to the first down and struggling trying to get it as Will Peoples. His second grab of the game, but Antoine Duncan would not let him go. They're going to be short of the first down by a little more than 2.
Well, Missouri's defensive football team is up in the bit tonight. I mean, they're hustling and they're pursuing everything. This is the conference opener for both football teams. And both coaches said that the week of practice was full of excitement and enthusiasm. They have a sense of urgency. They want to win their conference openers, and both teams are playing that way.
Well, Griffin touched the ball here on 3rd and 2. He sets up next to Hibble. The option for Griffin. And he's got the first down. Across the 32 as they push him back from there. Good timing on the pitch by Hibble. Jamal Brown, the right tackle, with a key block, a sophomore from Lawton, Oklahoma.
What Oklahoma has done is tighten their splits this year with the offensive line and try to establish the running game. Nice job by the center, pulling and getting a hook block down the line of scrimmage. That's a fantastic effort. And look at big Trent Smith stay with his block. Skinner does a good job down the football field as well. decent job of finishing blocks, sustaining contact.
First down, Sooners outside of their own 32. Hibble again. Great lane to look and throw, and he's got a wide open receiver, Peoples. First down at the 49. So the offensive line could not be doing a better job for Nate Hibble.
No question about it, Joe. They're giving him total vision down the football field, and he can throw the rock now. Hibble can throw the ball. He's not the most mobile guy in the world, but these big guys up front are protecting him. Look at the pocket that they formed for Hibble. I mean, he can stop. Look at this. He can have a cup of coffee, read the classified ad, step up and deliver the football just like he did. Going to have to get some kind of pressure in his face to at least hasten his decision making.
It's a guy who's not been intercepted this year and perfect so far today, and he's got time. Throwing deep over the middle for Savage. And just off target. His first miss of the game. R.J. Jones on the coverage, a young man who had 3 interceptions last week.
Going back to last season now, Hibble has thrown 122 passes without an interception. And that makes 90 of them are this season. So Hibble is making good decisions with the football. He's not beating his own football team. Game management, what coaches talk about.
2nd and 10 for the Sooners. The ball to their own 49. It'll be Jones trying to sprint his way up the middle. Boy, was he horse-collared down in a hurry by Antoine Bynum, the left hand, a senior from Parkway Central High School in St. Louis.
Well, what Oklahoma's trying to do, talked about a little bit earlier, tighten the splits and establish a ground game. And look at those 2-point stances. Still have to get the pad level low. And the pad level not quite low enough. And Bynum with a great disruption right there.
Took on 2, didn't he?
Took on the double team. And got his pad level lower than theirs and won. In football, it's physics. Low man wins.
Now can Hibble negotiate 9 yards. Trouble from behind, going deep, and he's got a man over the middle and overthrows Curtis Fagan. He was working against Michael Harden, who had pretty decent coverage anyway.
But Missouri's coaching staff encouraged because Hibble hit the deck. For the first time all night long, Hibble got hit and knocked to the turf. The protection's been outstanding, and Hibble tries to step up in the pocket here and still gets hit, and after he releases the football, he gets kind of taken in half, cut in half a little bit, and jackknifes backwards. That's a dangerous hit when a quarterback gets hit in the knees and the thigh area like that.
Marcus James waits for the punt from Blake Ferguson. Special teams so important today. We talk about it, but especially with the return kind of game that Oklahoma has. James calling for the fair catch, takes it in cleanly outside of his own 10-yard line. So Missouri in dangerous field position against a defense like Oklahoma. We'll see how the redshirt freshman quarterback handles it when we return. Out of the shotgun, now under his center, back outside of his own 10. Looking for Gage, in trouble, and Smith now trying to do too much on his own. He's lucky he held on to the football. Boy, he has it way down there in one hand. That is dangerous. Dvorak making the hit. And let's head back to the studio now for a Dr. Pepper game break with Chris Rose. Chris?
All right, Joe, thanks. Purdue and Iowa, 4th down. Brad Banks, the misdirection, the TD toss to Dallas Clark, and they're 5-1. Dave, I'd say the Hawkeye State is the football capital of the world.
And the only loss for Iowa, don't forget, Iowa State and Seneca Wallace. But Brad Smith, I bet the Oklahoma coaches are saying spike the ball away. He holds it out there. It's up for grabs. Now in trouble and throws it away. That was a smart play from his own goal line. But Dave, on that previous snap when he was maneuvering in the backfield and trying to escape, he had the ball on his side like a loaf of bread, as they say.
He sure did, but he did show the jackhammer feet. Man, to see how change of direction. And ultimately, Oklahoma did sack him for a 1-yard loss. That's only Oklahoma's 5th sack of the year. Coming in 4 sacks in 4 games. Very non-Oklahoma-like, but they've faced a lot of scramblers. But this defensive football team, they have defensive backs that run in the 4-3s, linebackers that run 4-4-40s, defensive linemen that run 4-6-40s. They have tremendous quickness and speed.
So now 3rd and better than 10, close to 11. Smith out of the gun. Here comes the blitz. Going deep, and his man was all turned around. No flags on the play as he tried to get it to Darius Outlaw. Eric Bassey on the coverage. And 3 and out with a punt. The last thing Missouri needed deep in their own territory.
And what Oklahoma wanted was 3rd and long with Brad Smith. 3rd and medium, too many options. Tommy Harris, we see right there, he's struggling. He's got a groin injury. He hasn't practiced much the last couple of weeks trying to heal up that groin. He's not playing the type of football that Tommy Harris played last year at this stage.
Brock Harvey under the gun again because Antonio Perkins waits back at the 45-yard line of Oklahoma. Got to kick it away from this young man. Angles it over to the near side, trying to pin him to the boundary. Perkins has it to the 48 of Missouri and looks for a wall. Gets a big block. No flags on the play. Another block. Buddy's horse counter down right at the midfield stripe. And what a tackle by Brandon Smith. But was it a face mask at the end of the play? Could have been.
Boy, and I thought Oklahoma got away with an illegal block. I thought Connor threw an illegal block in the back as well.
Would it be 5 or 15?
When you bring your hands up around the headgear, that's what you're in danger of. You get up around the shoulder pads and the headgear, you're in danger of exactly this, just grabbing and ripping.
On Missouri, 5 yards from the foul. First down.
And that's Brandon Smith, linebacker, with the penalty.
Dr. Pepper, Big 12 Player of the Week, just talking about Seneca Wallace. Against Nebraska, 220 yards passing. Rush for another 50. He does everything for that team. But what a tough schedule Iowa State has coming up. I mean, they hit the road for some of the most difficult contests that any team in the Big 12 will see in the second half of the season.
Not only the yards, but Seneca Wallace threw for 1 and rushed for 2. A touchdown maker against the Cornhuskers.
Quentin Griffin, short side of the field, and decent yardage for 5. Down to the Mizzou 40-yard line. They'll give him the 39, in fact. So call it 6 for Quentin Griffin. On a tight side, R.C. Jones bringing him down, the cornerback.
Well, you know, talk about his height. I'm saying 5'5", but he's 190 pounds. He's stacked. I mean, if this guy were 6 feet tall, he'd be about 230. So he's got deceptive strength. I mean, he squats 635 pounds. He runs a 4.35 40. He's a player.
Well, what's so great about him, the 55 catches last year, that he can get touches in so many different positions. The shovel pitch, the handoff, downfield he goes, and now Hibble running the option. He'll keep it himself, and he'll get a first down. The Missouri 35. They may need a measurement, but he's close. He's put down with a whip. Jason Simpson.
Well, that caught Missouri by surprise to have the not very fleet-footed or quick-footed Hibble running the option into the boundary.
And especially when you've got a true freshman with no experience, really hardly any repetitions, even in practice, Paul Thompson as his backup.
They're high on him. You know, they're not sure they have a Smith on their hands like Missouri does at this stage, but they are high on him. But as you say, Joel, he hasn't shown his ability to play yet, and they're about a credit card short. You slide a credit card in there, Kane.
Well, let's face it, Hibble is taking maybe a third of the reps. White starts the season, so he's taking 2/3.
Right.
So what's left over, if anything, was Paul Thompson through the first few weeks of the season.
Running the other team's plays.
Without a doubt.
I mean, that's all he did was get his defense ready by running the other team's snaps. So, and there's Thompson. Very, very athletic quarterback. You know, he's one of the new breed, can create plays with his feet as well as a very, very strong throwing arm. But there's nothing like game reps. I mean, you can practice all you want all day long until you get out there and have to make decisions at game speed. It's a different animal.
J.D. Runnels in the game now for Oklahoma. And make it Kewan Jones behind him. Hibble going for the bundle, looking for Savage. He's got it to the 10, brought down inside the 5.
Well, what Bob Stoops did on that play, Joel, by going over the top, he had decided if it was incomplete, I was going for it on 4th and inches. So he said, in my mind, I have a throwaway down, and let's go for the jugular.
Good call.
And he went down the football field to Savage. Maximum protection, play action fake, freezes the linebackers, freezes everybody. Over the top, we go to Savage. Big play, 1st and goal. And Bob Stoops saying, you know what? I'm going for the gusto right now because I have confidence in my O-line on 4th and inches.
No center fielder playing deep to help out Harden. Jones dives. He's in. Touchdown, Oklahoma. The redshirt freshman from Jenks, Oklahoma, Kewan Jones, with the first points of the day.
And Hibble showing his ability to get the ball down the football field to the deep quadrants, middle and both right and left of the football field accurately. He grew up in high school throwing the deep ball, and he can get it done. And the touchdown maker, that's his 7th rushing touchdown on the season now. He is the short yardage goal line machine.
Trey DiCarlo, 18 of 19 on point afters so far. Makes it a 7-0 lead for the Sooners. There's 65 seconds left in the first 15 minutes of play. The number 3 team in the nation finds the end zone.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer.
With 3 undefeated teams to start play today. Texas already won, barely got by Oklahoma State at home 17-15. Colorado upset Kansas State, so Kansas State suffering their first loss, and now Oklahoma with the lead. James and Ferguson back deep. It'll be Marcus James on the short one to the 9-yard line. Looking for a wall and make it Ferguson instead as he's crossing the 25 and put down at the 28-yard line.
There's a former running back before he converted to defense, and he showed a little bit of running back ability there. Big play on that last touchdown drive was the 3rd and inches down the football field to Savage over the top. Hibble with a little play action fake, 2 tight end set. And then, of course, the touchdown on the very next snap, finalized by Jones, the touchdown maker, his 7th touchdown of the season, and Oklahoma's got a 7-point lead.
Great field position for Missouri as they start their 3rd drive of the day, and Zach Abram, the junior from Francis Howell High School in St. Louis, pulled down by Lance Mitchell. No gain. In fact, he lost a yard. So we talk about this defense and the way they can wear you down, and we're seeing it early in the first quarter.
Well, when you have a defense that's got tremendous quickness at the line of scrimmage, Joel, you do a penetration, a one-gap penetration scheme, and try to disrupt the timing and blocking assignments of the offensive line.
2nd and 11, 2 to each side. And Smith now on a double move as a wide open receiver and overthrows Justin Gage. Gage looked like he might have been bumped on the sideline out of bounds.
Yep.
And then miscalculated by Smith. We're at Thoreau Field in Columbia, Missouri. It is an absolutely perfect setting, and what a day weather-wise as the Missouri Tigers get together with the Oklahoma Sooners. And for those of you that were on Sports South watching the Angels and the Yankees, Joel Myers, Dave Lapham, Eric Clements in the middle of Missouri. And will it be a ball game? Missouri comes in at 3-1. Oklahoma undefeated. And Missouri in trouble again on 3rd and long. Smith with the pocket holding up. Now in trouble and overshooting everybody. He takes his shot from Tommy Harris at the end of the play. And it's going to be 3 and out again for the Tigers.
Well, Tommy Harris wanted to get something for all of his work. And this guy is an effort guy. Once again, getting double teamed. He finally works his way up the football field and gets a shot on Smith after he unloads the football. This guy is a special athlete. He can bench press 315 pounds, 20 reps. I mean, that's a man. 287 pounds, runs a 4.6 40. That's unfair. That's a genetic marvel right there.
Brock Harvey punts again in the final seconds of the first quarter to Antonio Perkins. Let's see if he can get it over to the left side. Tries to angle it again. Keaton to the boundary.
He's going to hang this one up high. It's at the right hash mark. Little hang time right down the right hash mark.
And they go in the reverse. Perkins giving it up. There should be a block in the back, but there's no flag. At the 50, knocked out of bounds is Will Peoples. Well, the Mizzou fans, you can hear them booing in the background. They saw what I saw, but there was no flag from the official.
You got a guy here in Perkins who's got 4 punt returns for 20 yards or more already in this young season at a 5th. He is special when he touches the football. You know, they had a return guy in their national championship season. J.T. Thatcher was a thicker guy that broke tackles. This guy's a speed guy.
Well, he puts him in position in Missouri territory. When we come back, they've got it at the Mizzou 48-yard line. That's the end of the first quarter. It is Oklahoma 7, Missouri nothing. You're watching College Football Saturday, presented by Kyocera on Fox Sports Net.
We're not falling. We take it back to the days of yes, y'allin'. We're holding on to what's golden. A shot calling. We take it back to the days of yes, y'allin'. We're holding on to what's golden.
So now to start the second quarter, great field position. Griffin can't weave his way out of trouble to get to a yard. Well, Eric Lemons downstairs right now with a guy who had his team a win away from going to the Final Four last year. Eric.
Absolutely, Joel. Quinn Snyder, 3 years, 3 NCAA tournament berths. You have a little connection here, just engaged, but I guess he's given up basketball now. Do you have any last-second pleas for him to join your team again as a backup swingman?
You always love to have guys like Justin around, but he's got a great future in football, and it's I'm having fun being down here on the field watching him play.
Yeah, a little bit different atmosphere, isn't it? Talk about your team a little bit, and Elite Eight as we watch some of the action from the game. Elite Eight team last year, but you got some changes. Lost 2 of your leading scorers, Kareem Rush and Gilbert, but you got to replace them. What are you looking for?
Well, I think we do lose a lot of scoring. Anytime you lose a player of Kareem's caliber, they're tough to replace, but we have some young guys coming in the backcourt, Ricky Clemens and Jimmy McKinney. It's always tough to rely on first-year guys, but our kids have done a great job of welcoming them to our program, and hopefully by February we'll be okay.
All right, Quinn Snyder, thanks a lot. Good luck to you this year. Enjoy the game. All right, Quinn. Quinn Snyder. Joel, let's go back to you.
Big 3rd and 4 for the Mizzou defense. Can they stop Oklahoma? It's in and out of the hands of the wide receiver, Mark Clayton. It looked like he cradled it momentarily. Torres Ferguson right on his back, though, to rip it away.
Absolutely catchable football. Hibble's right on the money. You know what? Quinn Snyder looks good in a T-shirt. He's one of those guys right off the cover of GQ, isn't he?
Give me a break.
I mean, that's unrealism.
He's a wild thing. I mean, that hair, he can get away with anything now in Columbia, believe me.
Man of Chevys.
The punt comes from Blake Ferguson. Missouri was desperate for that because of the field position that Oklahoma enjoyed. James waiting back. It's over his head, though. And into the end zone for a touchback. So break again for the Tigers. Long field, but at least they have it at their own 20-yard line. Well, what about graduation rates? Should they count in the BCS formula?
Interesting question.
That's a good question.
That's a very interesting question.
That's a real good question. I know our crack crew came up with it down to the truck. You can vote, foxsports.com. Now we'll go back and look at that in a little bit, find out how you feel about it. Brad Smith, has missed his last 6 tries. This time, though, the handoff to Abram for only a yard at the most. But 6 straight incompletions for Brad Smith. They've got to get the quarterback going. Dan Cody in on that hit.
Zach Abram, 5'10", 225 pounds. He's one of those backs that's built low to the ground. You know, you have so many guys now that they don't give you much hitting surface. It's like trying to tackle a pectoral and a quadricep, you know, that can really run and have strength.
2nd and 9 for the Tigers. Quick rhythm offense as they're throwing over to the near side. It's complete. Short gain. Going to the wide receiver, Darius Outlaw. He's got it short of the first down by 5. They told us that because of the speed of the Oklahoma defense, there would be a lot of 3-step drops. Get rid of it in a hurry.
Absolutely, and they wanted to run right at Oklahoma to anchor them as well. They feel if you try to run east and west, sideline to sideline, Oklahoma's got too much speed and will track you down. So the way to anchor that speed is to challenge it and get right after it.
So now 3rd and 5 for the Tigers. They're 1 for 4 so far today. Shift big tight end McCoy over to the right side. Do they go that way? Smith calling his own number. And he gets a block into the secondary. There goes Smith on the quarterback keeper. He's got a first down. Inside the 45 to the 44.
Oh, great blocking on the right side of the offensive line. Right guard, right tackle. And whenever you have Smith in the look at the down blocks and look at the knocking him down to the ground. Pancake blocks. Oh my goodness, that is huge right there. And anytime you have this is two backs in the backfield. Abrams one back. That's the second back. It's a quarterback counter. Pull the off guard and the off tackle, and that guy's as good as a running back. He is the leading rusher on this football team, averaging more than 7.5 yards a carry. Whenever there's a one back on his hip, that's a two-back set. That's not a one-back set.
They brought over Palmer and Dregge, the two from the left side. They pulled, and Palmer's in only his second career start. They say he brings a different mentality to the offensive line, a tough kid. So Missouri in Oklahoma territory at the 44. Abram, almost as soon as he got the football, he was brought down. He's lucky to get back to the original line. It'll be 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 for Missouri, down by 7.
You got to change your evil ways, Joel.
Now the quickie over the middle, intercepted, and an opportunity to bring it back. Knocked out of bounds inside the 35, Brandon Shelby. The big play. He read the quarterback's eyes all the way, didn't he, Dave?
He certainly did, and that's uncharacteristic of the young redshirt freshman making a play that hurts his football team, and Shelby just jumped it. I mean, great route recognition, and he's just quicker to the football. He was trying to get to his big tight end, Fredrickson, and Shelby's the dime player in their extra defensive back package, and he just reacted to the football quicker than Fredrickson did. Fredrickson slowed down to catch it. Could have let him a little bit more. Threw it right at Fredrickson instead of leading him to the sideline a little bit. And Shelby, much quicker player, makes the play.
Well, it's Missouri that comes into the game after the first 4. One of the best in the nation in turnover margin. In fact, best in the Big 12 and 3rd in the nation.
Did you see that recoverability speed and closing speed right there?
Yeah, Brad Smith made the stop. Now Hibbett in trouble. Has a man on the sideline. Quick Griffin out of the backfield. And he's down to the 5-yard line, 1st and goal. How can you not account for number 22?
Well, yeah, he is a tremendous receiver out of the backfield, runs great routes, and he catches the football so well. The first running back in Oklahoma history to catch 1,000 yards in reception. And Hibble buys time, steps up in the pocket, good protection, allowing him to step up. He pays the price at the end as he just collapses under the heat provided by Mills, but delivered the ball accurately to Griffin.
4 minutes into the second quarter. Sooners to go up by 14 and a dead ball foul coming up against the offense.
Little flinch.
1st and goal to the 5, it'll be 1st and goal right at the 10.
That's where you don't want to have penalties, Joel, is inside the 10-yard line. Anytime you're in the red zone, you don't want to go backwards and false start up front.
A false start. Oklahoma. 5 yards, still 1st down.
This is the 3rd consecutive time that Oklahoma has started to drive in Missouri territory. From the 32, prior to that day, the 48, the Tigers 45. So missed opportunities, well, they better cash in on this one.
No question, and this is their 20th penetration into the opposition red zone. 20th already in less than 4.5 games. And they scored 13 touchdowns on the prior 19 penetrations. Let's see what happens on this one. They're going to go here, Trent Smith. There he is. Maybe go to him.
Yeah.
Again.
Somebody move on the line.
Yeah, again, a little flinch up front.
Is it on the left side?
You know, I guess they're having trouble hearing. The crowd's into it.
False start on Oklahoma. Still 1st down.
Got a little problem there with the old microphone.
Yeah, we've seen it happen before, and Oklahoma still has, this is only 1st down. But if you get a sack of the quarterback, you could potentially move all the way out of field goal position.
And this is an area where Hibble's not really a factor. If you have a mobile quarterback like Smith, you can still run quarterback draws and things of that nature, but you don't have to worry about Hibble in that regard.
Hibble with Griffin in the backfield. 1st and goal outside of the 15. Griffin buried in the backfield. He loses yardage. Keith Wright shot the gap completely. It's a loss of a couple.
Make that 11 tackle for loss on the season. A former defensive end, a great first step, explosive. And they move him from defensive end to defensive tackle. And as you said earlier, Joel, the Missouri defensive coaches say, we got a guy that's about as quick as anybody. and his first step gets up the football field as well as anybody's does. He's a good football player, Mr. Wright.
You know, this is the biggest difference between Missouri this year and Missouri last year, Gary Pinkel's first season. Overall team speed. He said they were bad last year, and especially when it came to team speed.
It's called player development, and they're faster and stronger.
Hibble in trouble, almost intercepted. Put it up for grabs. And Marcus King, the free safety, almost got it.
And I'll tell you, when you get a defensive lineman on a roll like Wright, watch him on this snap. And he just shoots a gap once again and gets right in Hibble's face. That is back-to-back disruptions by one fine defensive lineman. And he is just flying around the football field right now. He is just high on life.
Nice little stunt. Nobody picked him up.
Yep, little crossing action and little tackle and penetration, a little loop. And offensive lineman fell asleep. No area blocking inside.
So now 3rd and goal outside of the 17. Jones in the eye of the backfield. Play fake. Hibble with time. Fires for the end zone. He's got it to the 2-yard line. It's a catch for Savage. Or check that. Yes, Antoine Savage did take it in front of Michael Harden, and a decision to be made at the 2.
Absolutely. Big decision for Bob Stoops. Do you go up by 2 scores? In the nature of a field goal, or do you try to punch it in for a touchdown? Now, he's obviously got confidence in his defense that his defense can stop Missouri backed up like this. Looks like he's going for the jugular. He's going for 6 points, not 3.
Well, he gets the personnel on in plenty of time. There's still 17 left of the play clock, so pretty decisive about the decision.
Now I got one running in late, calling timeout.
And Runnels.
Calling timeout, ran in late. You had Clayton running in there late to the official, and he signaled timeout.
So Oklahoma will have a couple of minutes to talk it over. 9:03 left in the opening half. And the Sooners try to add to their 7-0 lead.
I'm not sure I do this, Joel. I think I kicked the field goal. I'm not sure. Whatever you've got for your best short yardage goal line play is what Bob Stoops is talking about with his coaching staff and his players right now on the sideline.
Well, whatever Missouri was doing in the first 2 snaps, line play-wise, their coach has got to tell them whatever you did to get them to flinch, to get them to move, you've got to do it again.
Right.
Because it worked. We're at Faroe Field in Columbia, Missouri. College Football Saturday presented by Kia Sarah. We're the number 3 team in the nation on the road for the first time in 35 days. Now, that's a nice homestand, isn't it?
Certainly is.
Open the season on the road. August, what was it, 30th, 31st? August 30th. And they haven't been away since. They've had 3 home games and a bye. So Oklahoma finally on the road. And it's the Big 12 opener, both Mizzou and the Sooners.
Now, what Missouri is hopeful of their fans doing is getting very loud. You know, and saying we're not. That's the reason. One of the reasons that Oklahoma was flinching up front. They could not hear Hibble in the shotgun. I think if I'm Oklahoma, I'd put Hibble under center so his linemen can hear him.
Now, this is Blackout Saturday, so everybody here is wearing black tonight.
There you go.
Here we go.
And look at Wright. Wright's ready. Mr. Wright.
And they are going to go for the field goal instead. DiCarlo comes on the field.
I like the decision.
It'll be an extra point. That's the distance. 4-3. And he's got it.
Now, part of the reason he was hesitant is DiCarlo missed that first field goal, but this was a definite chip shot.
20-yarder, 10-0, Oklahoma. Dominated the game for the most part, except for that first drive by Missouri when they stalled inside Oklahoma's territory. Enterprise scoring drive. Sooners, 5 plays, 29 yards. It came after the pick, so points off a turnover. And it's going to be Torres Ferguson bringing it back from his own 6. Good blocking up front, but it collapsed in a hurry across the 20.
Good matchup right here. Gage on straight. Gage on straight. Boundary side of the field.
Second, a little more than 5. That's a lateral pass. Nice block for the receiver, and there goes the wide receiver, Marcus James. And it was Darius Outlaw actually on the far side of the field for a Missouri first down, but they need to pick up some first downs, even if they can't get points. They need to hold on to the football and give their defense a break.
Absolutely. No more 3 and outs for a while. And here's another former quarterback, Outlaw, and that ball's deflected. I mean, safety gets his hand on the football and reroutes it. Excellent job. Bassey got his hand on the ball, and nice job by Outlaw to concentrate on it and catch that deflected pass.
Outlaw, a senior from Powder Springs, Georgia. This is his first season at wide receiver. Now Smith on 1st and 10, and he's got all day. And he wants to go for the deep ball. He's got Gage, and he can't hang on. What a play.
Gage on Strait again, and Gage found the football before Strait did. Underthrown slightly. Gage could not come up with the play. He did everything but catch it. And that's the most important thing to do, obviously.
It would have been a first down inside the Oklahoma 20-yard line. Right through his hands.
Yeah, Strait is late turning and finding the football. Gage makes the adjustment, comes back, gets 2 hands on it. And boy, 99 times out of 100, Gage is going to catch that pig right there, but he didn't that time.
We wondered about the arm strength. Where's the deep ball?
Yep.
From redshirt freshman Brad Smith. Slow beginning for him, though. Once again calling his own number. He comes in 3rd in the Big 12 in rushing at 98 a game. Jimmy Wilkerson quick to the corner, though, along with Derek Strait.
You know, and the coaching staff from Missouri wants to call 8 to 10 running plays that are called with him running the football. They think that much of his ability to run it. Now, he'll improvise and run the ball more than that as things break down, but they call quarterback draw, quarterback sweep, quarterback counter 8 to 10 times a game for him.
So now 3rd and long. 3rd and 8 for Missouri as Outlaw goes in motion. Here comes the blitz. Underneath, Gage has it. Runs into his own man. Maintains his balance, believe it or not. Gage running through arm tackles and pulled down by Strait.
Oh.
What a play by Justin Gage, and he showed why he's a power forward in basketball.
I'll tell you, he showed extreme balance and body control there because he was like a human pinball. He got ricocheted. An Oklahoma defender hit him, and then he got rerouted and righted by his own teammate. As he comes inside on the receiver screen, he gets popped by Bassey, and then he gets rerouted by his own player that sets him down the course of the football field properly, and big yards and big play by Gage.
Missouri was desperate for it, and they've got it at the Oklahoma 15 halfway through the 2nd quarter. Tight formation this time for the Tigers. Abram, big hole over to the left side, scrambles for about 5, close to the 10 before he's tripped up. But the middle linebacker, Lance Mitchell.
You know, I talked about how Oklahoma has been in the red zone 20 times already. This is only the 6th time all year they've let the opposition in the red zone. When we were talking to the Missouri coaches, they say, we don't see any goal line snaps. I mean, they don't let anybody down here. Now here's Missouri in the red zone, almost inside the 10-yard line. Have to be efficient here. Don't make any mistakes.
Spread the defense, Dave, with 2 to each side. You know, Gage, 6'4", 6'5". This is where you can use his height. Quarterback draw. Smith can't get away. Once again from Lance Mitchell. What a play by the middle linebacker.
Junior college, transfer to Oklahoma. He took the place. Basically, Teddy Lehman moved from middle linebacker to Rocky Kalmus' spot, and Mitchell came in 6'3", 245 pounds, runs a 4.65 40. So size-speed ratio again.
And played on 2 national championship teams for the City College of San Francisco.
I'll tell you, he knows how to win, and now he's in another winning program at Oklahoma.
So 3rd and long for the Tigers. Smith again out of the gun. Outlaw the motion man with a little chip. Gage has it, but he's well short of the first down. He's out of bounds at the 8.
Got to put points on the board. Can't think 4-down territory here, I don't think. Got to get something on the board to slice into this lead.
Can't walk away empty this early in the game. Mike Matheny comes on, a junior who walked on. And he's been a pleasant surprise so far for the Missouri Tigers.
I think if it's 4th and inches, you think about it, but not 4th and 3 against this Oklahoma defense. You gotta take this field goal and cut it to a 1-score game.
26-yard field goal. Farmer to hold.
So Matheny trying to put the Tigers on the board. 26-yard attempt off the upright.
I'll tell you, bad snap, Joel.
You said it. You could see the knuckleball off it.
Inside snap. The holder struggled to get it down in a timely fashion, and Matheny hooked it. The operation wasn't clean.
So a poor exchange all the way around. Bad break for the Tigers. Still a shutout for the Sooners.
Snap. Farmer does a good job of even catching it. It's high and inside, and he gets it down. You know, I say that's good enough to put it through the uprights, but Matheny, he didn't see the ball quickly enough as he was approaching Farmer, and he swung through it. And he rotated his hips too much and pulled it to the left and hit the upright.
Griffin and works around Nate Hibble. On 2nd and 5 as he checks off at the line. It'll be Griffin. Can he get away? No, he can't. What a play again. Defensively by, that time, Terrell Mills, the sophomore from Raytown, Missouri. Eric, what's the latest?
Well, the latest is what an atmosphere we have out here. Perfect night for football. And if you folks at home notice on TV a sea of black, do not adjust your sets. It's Blackout Saturday. All the Mizzou fans encouraged to wear black T-shirts or something black. And most of them complied, let me tell you, because you can get lost in a sea of black down here, and it is quite noisy as well as they try to bring their Tigers back into the ball game. Guys?
That's a big setback for Oklahoma on 2nd and 5, loss of 7. Now can they get to the quarterback? Hibble wide open, shoots. Will Peoples is wide receiver.
He threw it just a little bit sooner than he wanted to because Hibble got hit as he released the football. He stood tall in the pocket. Boy, if the protection could have held up just a little bit longer, he may have a touchdown here.
Tell you something, Dave. Missouri's got to be worried about the breakdown in the secondary.
Absolutely. You know, they're going to have to. Kinney was the guy that put the rush on, linebacker blitz. They're going to have to start doing that, pressuring Hibble more because the defensive backs are going to have a hard time staying with him.
Missouri, Marcus James waiting for the punt from Blake Ferguson.
Watch Gage. Here he comes.
They're after it. Good protection. But a low wobbler. James will take it to the 45, making a miss. And that's all he'll do is get to the 45-yard line. Great coverage downfield with flags down to the play. Will it be a celebration penalty coming up?
That's Trent Smith.
Oklahoma's tight end, Trent Smith.
And Bobby Stoops uses starters. Bobby Stoops uses 8 or 9 starters on his special teams. He wants his best athletes out there. Last year he had Rocky Kalmus and Roy Williams covering kicks and returning kicks. They call a face mask on Oklahoma.
5 or 15. So they'll mark it off, and we'll come right back. When we return, we'll send you back to Chris Rose in our College Football Saturday studio with a preview of our Nissan halftime report.
I mean, it starts up front. And this is like an arrow coming out of the bow. Woof! And he's in the backfield, and he's at the quarterback's legs. I mean, that's disruption at its best right there. Tommy Harris says, enough of this. I'm getting up the football field. Man, what a get-off.
Defensive player of the year as among freshmen last season. They shift Gage to the short side. Matching up the straight once again. 2nd and long. 2nd and about 13. Gage on a little screen underneath. And Justin Gage pulled down to the ankles. Short of the first down by 3. Derek Strait saved that one.
Joel, you know, the Missouri coach has had a game plan, a formula, how to handle the speed of Oklahoma. 3-step drop to get the ball out of there. Run screen passes to slow down the rush. Brad Smith, kind of make him be respected in the ground game. And when they do run the football with the running backs, hit quickly, north and south, no sideline to sideline, and sprint out passes. Get Brad Smith out of pocket, change the launch point. Don't make him a sitting duck.
Smith looks at a 3rd and 3. Will he keep it himself? The play fake, and Smith follows his blocking perfectly. He's got the first down inside the 30.
Boy.
28-yard line of Oklahoma is forced out. Palmer on that side, along with Rob Dregge, a junior from St. Louis's Lindbergh High School. Good seal.
6'3", 200 pounds with 4.5 speed, and he's 18 years old. I'd say this man has an upside potential that's phenomenal.
What about a cool customer as an 18-year-old?
Really, I mean, poised beyond his years. The coaches say he's 18 going on 38. I mean, just an unbelievable person. Great leader for this football team. Natural-born leader.
1st and 10 Tigers at the Sooners 28. Abram made a miss in the backfield. Only gets a couple after all is said and done, though. Down to the 26, tripped up by the end Jonathan Jackson and Eric Bassey, the strong safety. So Missouri's got to have a running game. They can't put too much pressure. And they had some success early on the ground, but it's been shut down recently by Oklahoma.
And Smith with 7 lugs for 55 yards, the leading ground gainer once again, averaging almost 8 a pop. Just like he has all season long. He's averaging over 7 yards per carry coming in. He's doing nothing to hurt his average tonight.
But for Abram, it's 10 for only 26. Somebody else has got to get it going out of the backfield. Smith on the deeper drop, in trouble, and dumps it off. It's his tight end, Ben Fredrickson. He only got a yard to the 25. Good recovery in the secondary by Oklahoma. So Brad Smith again showing his poise and his patience. Didn't tip his hand early, did he?
No, he didn't. He held onto the ball to the last possible minute. This guy is, man, he is the cool, calm, collected customer they talked about.
And all 3 timeouts remaining for Smith and Missouri. And they may want to use one here. This is a big third down inside of 2 minutes to play, and they will.
You know, a guy like that at 18 years old, that is that calm, he's got huddle presence. I mean, everybody in that huddle is looking at him saying, I know you're only 18 years old, but I know you can play, and I know you're our leader. And that's big early in his career.
As Dave mentioned, 6'3", 200 pounds is the dimension so far for Brad Smith. He's only 18. I've seen plenty of kids get to college and grow another inch or 2 or even more. And everybody's talking about the comparison with Seneca Wallace. Remember, Seneca Wallace is 5'11", a little more than 200 pounds. But they both have that escapability and as you said, huddle presence.
And remember, Seneca Wallace is a senior. We're looking at a redshirt freshman. Now, if he's being compared to Seneca Wallace as a redshirt freshman, it's hard to project him as a senior, what he might be able to do. I mean, because his growth chart is going straight vertical, mentally and physically. And remember, this is only his 5th college football game, and it's against the 3rd-ranked Oklahoma Sooners, who arguably, if not the best defense in college football over the last 3 or 4 years. There's not a whole lot of company with them.
Comes in today second to the Big 12 in total offense. We're not going to break their rhythm tonight.
Yeah,
I don't care what we say.
I like that look. I'm requesting right now pink hair next week.
They send James in motion. Plenty of action to the backfield. Inside the 20. There goes Gage. Will he take it in or It is Brad Smith hanging onto the football. What deception in the backfield.
Joel, it was the exact same play that he ran earlier with Zach Abram coming underneath and him running the quarterback counter. Good blocking on the right side of the offensive line. They pulled the left guard and left tackle, and they escorted him around the corner. Great play. Little fake Abram. Here comes the off guard and off tackle. They get their blocks, and off to the house goes Smith. Excellent call. A design quarterback run. Remember, when Abram is in the backfield with him, that's not a 1-back set. That's a 2-back set. And he showed he's as good as any running back in the Big 12.
What does that mean to Missouri going to the locker room? A 25-yard touchdown run by Brad Smith. There's going to be a celebration penalty, which is not going to help Michael Matheny and the entire team that handles it. Farmers, you mentioned, the holder. The snapper is Scott Seals, a junior from right here in Columbia.
Gary Pinkel's on the field going crazy. He said, what is that? What's that all about? He wants an explanation. He didn't see any excessive celebration. He's saying, for crying out loud, it's the 3rd best team in the country.
And you saw what he just said? Both sides.
Yeah, exactly. And Gary's not happy at all. And that's a disciplinarian, and Gary will talk to his team. But I didn't see anything excessive, Joel, unless somebody said something. And you can't see that, obviously. You can't hear it from way up here, but this is a little bit of a challenge for PAT now.
It's just a little outside the 25, so a 35-yard extra point try. Another bad snap, but Matheny right on target.
Yep. I'll tell you, Kirk Farmer has got good hands. Kirk Farmer's making bad snaps makeable.
So another look at the great deception of Brad Smith.
Watch Abram take the defense this way. Backside guard and tackle both pull, the old counter. Watch Tony Palmer cover up on his block. Great block right there. Boom. That's a tough guy. Oklahoma offered him. He came to Missouri. Downfield block by the wide receiver. Tremendous effort right there by James. And then special by Smith. He's got the jackhammer feet. He can make people miss. Great execution. Great call.
You know, you were just talking about Tony Palmer, who's making his 2nd career start, a redshirt freshman from just outside of Norman. This young man was offered a scholarship by Oklahoma, but it was already a commitment to Missouri, and he lived by his commitment.
That's a stand-up guy right there, and he's loving this matchup.
Now Hibble hit again. As he released it, he was hit by Keith Wright. He's been on his one a lot with Wright on top of him. And the Jags, and Missouri has taken over in this quarter.
Well, who would have thunk that Missouri would outrush Oklahoma by 106 to 35 yards at this stage of the football game?
Well, let's not forget that last week South Florida had almost 100 more yards of total offense. Oklahoma had only 239 for the game, so they sputtered a little bit at home.
Right, and really the main contributor, Brad, to those, Joel, is Brad Smith to those 106 yards. I mean, he's probably got, what, 70 of them?
Big third down, Dave. Minute 40 to play in the half. They spread it, short side of the field. Griffin, will it get there? I believe, no. Where will they finally spot it? That was a tough one. He may not get it. Left foot, right foot. Jason Simpson, the whip, the extra safety, got over there, tried to hold him up.
Boy, look at the replace all divots out there. That field is coming up in chunks. Man, the guys are digging in tonight. And you've seen a little bit of slip sliding away going on out there. Some unassisted tackles due to the soft field. And Missouri holds. And Oklahoma
Missouri should stop the clock.
Absolutely.
They ought to call a timeout right away. They've got 2 timeouts remaining. I'm surprised they're not.
And why is Oklahoma quick kicking?
Right, this quickly as Marcus James waits for it. He'll take it awkwardly at the 30 and goes down in a heap. He wasn't comfortable when he took it. Will Peoples all over the play. There's a flag down.
Now, was Oklahoma down the football field too quickly in coverage? Or was there some kind of a hold going on
the edge?
I think it looked the official saying grab and pull down. So Missouri may be called for holding. Now, when did the hold occur? Before the ball was in the air? That's key too. It's 4th down and just a skosh. I mean, it's 4th and hardly anything. So if it's a holding penalty on Missouri, it's a 1st down for Oklahoma, and it is. It's a 1st down for Oklahoma anyway.
Was it post-possession? As you mentioned, though.
Let's see. If the ball was in the air, the hole is going to be marked off from the spot of the dead ball. If it happened prior to the kick, it's an Oklahoma 1st down, and it looks like they're marking it off. The ball was already airborne, a post-kick foul.
So Missouri will have the football, but back it around their own 20.
During the kick, Missouri, 10 yards from the end of the kick, 1st down.
And it looks like Missouri's going to take a knee and make some adjustments at halftime and not risk turning the football over in a short field.
Yeah, I don't think you have to gamble when you got a quarterback like Brad Smith, but at the same time, I'd like to spread the defense and let Brad Smith run the football.
Right. You know, the thing
that's not gambling.
The thing that's amazing, back to the point about the 85 scholarship deal, people are, it's not like it was in the old days. You don't blow people out. You beat good football like South Florida. South Florida's got a bunch of kids that transferred from Florida, from Georgia, from Alabama. They got a great quarterback. You don't crush teams like that anymore.
So one more snap, and that'll do it for a pick-me-up 1st half for the Missouri Tigers. Let's face it, Missouri came in a huge underdog in this matchup, and they go to the locker room down by only 3.
And Smith kept his composure. And I'll tell you what, he adjusted to the speed of Oklahoma's defense. He ran the ball at him effectively.
So Missouri, after 30 minutes of play, has only been outgained by 16 yards and had 4 more snaps. Gage had a big play, but most of the big plays coming from number 16, Brad Smith. Down to the sideline, Eric Clemens.
All right, Coach, 10-7, probably what you expected here, your assessments of the 1st half.
Well, they're playing good football. We're playing decent football. We defensively gave up a drive right at the end. Quarterback, some of the quarterback run game we got to be better at. Offensively, we're moving it. We got to put it in the end zone to get more points. We've missed some big opportunities, too, downfield.
Okay, Coach, good luck to you in the 2nd half.
It all. He is an outstanding quarterback, great running back, and he's a running back with a howitzer hanging off of that right shoulder. Here he throws a little receiver screen to Gage. Then they run a quarterback counter to the left side for significant yards, a called play. That was not improvisational, and this is a called play as well. Look at the backside guard and tackle get their blocks, and Smith bounces to the outside, making it a 10-7 football game. On the other side of things, Nate Hibble's taking hits. He takes a sack out of the red zone, and he got hit all half. And right now, Eric Clemens, our man down on the football field, extraordinaire, by the way, has spoken with head coach of Missouri, Coach Pinkel. And what did he have to say, Eric?
All right, Guy. Thank you very much for that compliment, by the way. Coach Pinkel said, hey, listen, in the second half, we cannot let them have big plays offensively. A few too many near misses for Oklahoma in that first half for Coach Pinkel's liking. Also, when they get opportunities, they got to take advantage of them against the number 3 ranked team like they did late in the half when Brad Smith scored on that 25-yard touchdown. Guys?
Trey DiCarlo kicks it away, and here we go with the start of the second half. And it's going to be brought back by Marcus James, the little guy across the 20. And then hit from behind as he's down at the 23 in the arms of Clint Ingram. Well, the mobile T first half numbers. Missouri came back in the second quarter, and the rushing yards the difference. Yep. Missouri staying in the game, but don't forget 80 of the 102 belong to the quarterback.
And really everything else fairly even Steven. Third downs, neither team. Missouri doing a better job actually on third down. 1 turnover suffered by Missouri. The redshirt freshman Smith threw an interception, but that's been it. Great football game. Both teams playing at a very high level.
Well, now we're ready to go after a bit of a delay from the referee. 3 wide receivers set, and Abram the only one in the backfield. From the 22 for the Tigers. And Smith in trouble. Trying to run through people, but they're too big, and especially the play of Jimmy Wilkerson, the left end, the junior from Omaha, Texas. So that was busted from the start. His knee almost went down right away.
Jimmy Wilkerson led this Oklahoma defense last year with 18 tackles for loss at the defensive end position. He gets another one tonight. And here's a guy that played quarterback in high school, Jimmy Wilkerson. And he rushed the football for 1,400 yards and threw it for over 1,200 and had 111 tackles as a linebacker. Kept getting bigger and stronger, now playing defensive end. Great athlete off the edge.
Loss of 4, short drop. The tight ends available past the 25. And they get it to Ben Fredrickson, the senior from Westminster, California. Wilkerson on top of him again.
And Brad Smith, where has he thrown the ball successfully tonight? Well, not very successfully down the football field. He's been very successful checking down in the intermediate ranges. He's got 3 completions, about 70 yards a pop on the left side, averaging 3 yards of completion. But this big one down the middle was a big play.
Now on third, a little more than 3, almost 4. Where's had all the success. The quarterback run out of the shotgun. Will it work for the first down? No. They stand him up right at the marker. He did not get it. Wilkerson pushing him back with the help of Lance Mitchell. And he looks like he's about a foot short.
He reminds me a little bit of Michael Bishop at Kansas State with his ability with that quarterback running package out of the shotgun. Michael Bishop was a thicker, stronger player. This guy's got more speed. Smith is faster than Michael Bishop, a different type of runner, but equally effective.
Well, it looked like he's short, and it looked like he's short by about at least a foot. Kid never quit on the play, though. Give him credit. It looked like he wasn't going to get close.
Good call, Joel.
So it'll be a punting situation coming up for Missouri. You know they're not going to go for it this deep in their own territory.
And during Bob Stoops' era, they have blocked 10 kicks. So we'll have to see if the heat is applied here.
Brad Smith doesn't want to leave the field. He keeps looking over to the sideline like, Coach, let us go.
I think once they spot this football and get everything going, the punt team will be on the field. I do not see Coach Gary Pinkel taking this kind of chance with this field position.
We're 91 seconds into the third quarter, and nobody expected Missouri, let's face it, to be this close at halftime to begin with. So Brock Harvey, the sophomore from just outside of Jefferson City, Missouri, the state capital, tries to boom one away. Antonio Perkins, the dangerous one, who's already got 2 touchdown returns off punts this year, is back at the 25. Can he hang it up? And that is a beauty. Perkins down to the 22. Great hang time. No place to go. The punter made the difference. Brock Harvey held it way up there. Marcus King, the first one down there, but that hang time was sensational.
Brock Harvey coming into tonight's game averaging almost 40 yards net punting, 11th in the nation. Great one there.
Well, we had our question earlier. Should graduation rates count in the BCS formula? Surprising that it was that much the other way. 55% said no.
I'd like to see graduations count.
I'd love that accountability.
Before point differential. Point differential doesn't count as much anymore. I'd eliminate it. I'd rather see graduation rates count than blowouts.
Oklahoma 1st and 10 of their own 21, up by 3, and Hibble out of the gun. Quick one. He's got Peoples available. Big cushion in the corner for Will Peoples. He's out of bounds short of the first down. Pulling it off in front of Michael Harden.
You know, you almost think Oklahoma at times might be better off going with a pro set. 2 backs in the backfield, protect Hibble, and let him throw the ball down the football field. I mean, Hibble's got a nice arm, and he's a very accurate thrower. They don't want to go with the 2-back set. Oklahoma just doesn't do it at all, but Hibble could thrive in that.
2nd and 2.
On 2nd and 2. Griffin spins. He's close to the first down. I believe he got it. Sean Doyle tried to deny him, the senior linebacker from Overland Park, Kansas, but good pursuit down the line. As Doyle got over there, also R.J. Jones.
R.J. Jones had 3 interceptions against Troy State for Missouri. That set a school record. 3 picks in 1 game. That's a nice night.
So the rebuilding, and it really is a rebuilding program for the University of Missouri. They had their problems in the second half of last season, but now they put more speed at positions. And Coach Binkle told us, I remember last year when we spoke with him before the season ever began, Dave, he said, I've taken a fullback and put him at defensive end now because I lack team speed on the defensive side of the football. So they had to make early adjustments, but it seems like with some of the kids they brought in that are either working as true freshmen and playing now, or the ones on the scout team, they might have turned it around already.
Well, what they did in the first half with Oklahoma was noteworthy. Oklahoma had outscored the opposition 85-3 in their first 4 games in the first half. And Missouri scored the first touchdown of the season against Oklahoma's defense in that first half, and only down 3. That's significant.
So now 1st and 10, Hibble out of the gun. And throws it away. Just trying to get it away in the neighborhood of Quentin Griffin. And Saragusa also picking his 6-pack for this weekend's games. Now the quick one out to Quentin Griffin. And good pursuit down the line.
Actually, it's Trent
Missouri.
Smith.
And it was Trent Smith.
Yeah.
The tight end over on that side.
And actually, he lines up in the slot. What they do with him, about half the time he lines up as a normal tight end. Then a lot of times he'll line up in the slot or as a wide receiver. If you want your kid to grow up to be a receiver, listen up.
And know when to go down.
Ooh. I'll tell you what, 4 or 5 Missouri, you talk about gang tackling, he got peppered by about 4 or 5 defenders. That's running to the football.
Oklahoma only 3 of 9 of their 3rd down tries. Missouri stacks the line. Pivot on the quick slant, and it's a completion. Taking it in, Curtis Fagan. Will he go the distance? To the 25, he will. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Mizzou gambled, and they were burned.
R.J. Jones is the guy that rolled the dice. R.J. Jones went for the interception. What you have to do, if the ball is going to be caught by Fagan, tackle him and limit it right there. Jones went for the football, did not get the football. Fagan caught the football and took it to the house. Big gamble by R.J. Jones. Watch him right here up top. There's Fagan. Watch him go for the football. No, doesn't catch the football, doesn't make the tackle. Off to the races. That's a big play. You have to give Oklahoma credit, and you have to give Fagan credit. Jones took a big risk.
DiCarlo got it through just barely. Almost hooked it. And Oklahoma has some breathing room early in the game, or early in the second half. 3.5 minutes gone by in the 3rd. Sooners lead it by 10. James wanted to bring it out. He'll stay in the end zone. And Missouri will have it for the 2nd time in the second half. They went 3 and out with a punt the first time. Starting to their own 22. The big play. And you've got to worry when you're Missouri because not many teams can score 17 or more on Oklahoma to begin with. They only give up 10 points a game. That is 5th best in the nation in scoring defense.
And what Missouri was hopeful for was a low-scoring game, get into the 4th quarter, still in the hunt. And that can happen. But they have to answer here in the 3rd quarter with points on the board. They have to cut it to a 1-score game. Got to get a touchdown or a field goal to cut it to a 1-score game and not be down 2 scores going into the 4th.
Abram belted again almost as soon as he got it. He gets a yard, but Tommy Harris would not let go of him. So Tommy Harris again wrapping up the running back.
This is Lehman, linebacker. Look at the eyes, the concentration. He makes the read, flows over the top. Tommy Harris gets penetration and disrupts, and Lehman just finishes it off. I mean, that's a tandem of potential All-Americans right there. Lehman, former sprinter in high school, 235-pound linebacker that runs 4.40. That's illegal too.
2nd and 9 from the Missouri 21. Darius Outlaws going nowhere. Great pursuit on the play.
That's McCoy, the nickelback, and McCoy is a guy, he's only had 3 career starts at Oklahoma, and he's had 5 takeaways. He's a big play guy for this defense, solid football player. The read he makes is extraordinary. Little hitch, screen, and he's right there. I mean, route recognition and sure tackle. Great play in the open field.
Junior from Jenks, Oklahoma. Another loss for the Tigers, a loss of a little more than 2. And now 3rd and 11. Smith from the gun. And a little bubble screen. Gage, nothing. It's not going anywhere. Easy play. It was Corey Klein. He ran right back into the pursuit. You talk about depth of a play. They didn't give it a lot of time, did they?
No, Corey Klein was spying the screen. I mean, it almost like the defensive call that was made. They had a defensive lineman that was spying the potential screen, and he was all over it. Great recognition, and the inside-out pursuit was fantastic.
So all of a sudden, Brock Harvey, a very important player for the Missouri Tigers because of Antonio Perkins.
Watch straight. Here comes straight. They brought a blocker in for him right here.
Perkins, big for Oklahoma.
Oh, he almost got to it. He also got the punter, and there goes the flag. As it'll go out of bounds inside the 40. The referee threw the flag.
Did he touch the football? Oklahoma's coaching staff, the sideline is going crazy, saying that he deflected the ball. If he deflected the ball, there is no foul. Did he get a piece of the football? And that's what they're saying on the sideline.
Yeah, and they're saying it's 5 yards. It's not 15, so it's not going to be a first down for Missouri.
Now, did he get a piece of the ball? Oh, he went right over the top. He did not get a piece of the football, and it's just running into, not roughing.
And Missouri ought to decline the penalty.
Oh, he was close.
Let it go
against Oklahoma. Penalties refused. First down.
They will, because it was a good punt and a roll up about 10-15 yards for Missouri. And Oklahoma's going to have it back inside their own 40-yard line.
Straight almost got kicked right in the face mask on that one, trying to block it.
Well, they got the man out on the edge, but it was a little bit too late almost. As the number 3 team in the nation has a 10-point lead and the football. College Football Saturday, presented by Kyocera, continues from the heartland. What a sight, Columbia, Missouri. And the Tigers hung tough in the first half. Now will they wear down or wilt in the second half? Griffin in the backfield with Hibble. Available is Will Peoples, and that's been there all night long. Missouri is giving a 10-yard cushion to the corner.
Yeah, they're playing it very, very soft. And the reason is in the first half we saw more than one time they get burned over the top. And they respect the speed of the Oklahoma wide receivers, so they are giving that big cushion, as you described, Joel, and letting Oklahoma catch the football and rally up to it and smack them and see if they can separate receiver from football. Great percentage, great efficiency. Look at the yards per completion and per attempt. He's in the stratosphere.
3 on the wide side. They'll run it to the short side. Griffin breaks the tackle. There goes Griffin down the sideline. He will go the distance, I believe. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
Boy, what speed. 4.35 speed. And once he makes the first guy miss in the open field with that elusiveness, he just shifts gears. And I'll tell you, R.J. Jones can run, and R.J. Jones thought he took an angle to intersect him, came up short by about 4 yards. Little underneath handoff, and Griffin right there runs out of the tackle of the defensive lineman. He gets to the edge, and it's goodbye. R.J. Jones thinks he has a shot, not even close. Came up way short.
Doyle had him at the line of scrimmage. But a guy with those kinds of dimensions, as you mentioned, is 5'5", 5'6".
No hitting surface. I mean, he slid right down.
It's hooked off the upright and no good on the extra points. DeCarlo's flirted with that before. So it's now a 16-point deficit for Missouri, making it still a 2-score game. 2 touchdowns, 2-point conversions. Sooners in control, though. extra point was missed, so Oklahoma leading Missouri by 16. 10-7 lead for the Sooners. So they have 2 quick scores on their first 2 possessions of the second half. 65-yard pass to Fagan. Now the 53-yard run by Griffin. And DeCarlo just banged it off the upright. As Sherdania Mitchell is going back deep, along with Marcus James.
Tough night for DeCarlo. He missed the first opportunity, the first field goal, and then he hit the upright. So the kicking game has been a factor in this football game tonight.
Especially with a miss by DeCarlo, as we mentioned. 2 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions. Tigers are back there. But that's against one of the best defensive units in the country. It'll be little Marcus James from the 3. And leaping over, would-be tackler did trip him up. He's past the 20 to the 23, but a flag down. Russell Dennison got a piece of him.
Usually this is some sort of illegal block, and it could very well cost Missouri field position, hold or illegal block in the back or something like that normally. We have the old hold, so back you go.
Another look at the touchdown and the line play and the movement up front.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, Oklahoma wants matchups, and they change the strength of their formation. And watch Doyle, the linebacker, kick his defensive lineman down inside and say, look, shift over. And then he's the uncovered guy, and he can't make the tackle. Griffin runs through his tackle, bounces it to the outside, and then shows tremendous speed to the house. And Doyle was there to make the play, but he lost the outside. You know, he got hooked, and once he contacted Griffin, very little hitting surface. He slid down him like a barber pole, and Griffin was out. He makes that first guy miss all the time.
So Missouri after the mark-off has it for their own 13. Smith wanted to go to Gage on a double move, trying to make a miss, and he's down after a gain of 3 to the 16-yard line. Eric Clemens.
All right, Quentin Griffin, you saw him explode for that long touchdown run. He has done it all. He has a couple of SI covers, 1 national championship, but he has stayed the exact same way in this his final season. He's the first one to practice, last one to leave. Very humble individual. He is the reason for them having a heart and soul on this Oklahoma offensive team. Quentin Griffin, guys.
Absolutely, Eric. Get a little follow-up on that after this play.
2nd and 7. Ball to the 16 of Missouri. Time for the quarterback, and the crossing pattern's there for Justin Gage. Boy, what a nice tackle for the linebacker, though. Lance Mitchell. He's got the first head of the 25, but I think Gage thought he was going to be able to go down the seam.
You know, the thing about Quentin Griffin, his freshman year, his true freshman year, they were going to redshirt him. Bob Stoops was going to redshirt Griffin. In about the 7th or 8th game, they had an injury at running back. They said, you know, Q, we want to play you because we have a chance to go to a bowl game, but you're going to miss, you know, you're only going to play in about 3 or 4 games and have to burn a year. He said, if it's better for the team, I want to do it, coach. Totally unselfish. They go to the Independence Bowl, finish with a 7-5 record. That's a guy that's all about team, not him.
On the play fake, here comes the heat as they hit Smith. Right on top of him, Dan Cody, the sophomore from Ada, Oklahoma. So they've got, and we've seen Cody in the first half doing this, getting pressure on the quarterback. Here's a guy at 6'5", 270, and he's got 2 more years with the Sooners.
I tell you, what they do is they retool. They don't rebuild. I mean, they have guys waiting in the wings. They do. They have guys waiting in the wings to take the place of great players. I mean, they lose Rocky Kalmus and Roy Williams, 2 great football players, and they have guys stepping right in, and Marcus James not doing well on the sideline.
2nd and 10, blitz coming off the edge. They pick it up, so Smith has that lane over the left side, makes a miss at the 30. Oh, what a runner. He's got about 10. He may be short of the first down by about a foot. Jonathan Jackson finally caught up with him.
You know, in the pitch, you have to bend at the knees, because if you bend at the knees, you get your pad level low. And line play, it's all about low pad level is the winner. Who's underneath whose pads here at the line of scrimmage? That is the key. And then the other key is separating from the blocks. Missouri does a pretty good job of sustaining contact. And then you have a guy of Smith's ability that can make people miss. Gosh, he has got something going on. He's tough.
He's got the first down to the quarterback sneak just across the 35 to the 36. Mizzou's got to put together a drive. Inside of 7 to play. Reset the chains, start the clock. Oklahoma's taken the sold-out crowd completely out of the affair.
Look at this quarter, 141 yards to 16.
Short one, double move, and going for the deep ball. Over the shoulder, grabbed by Gage. He's got it for a first down. What a perfectly placed ball. Not an easy catch.
Justin Gage, 6'4", 210 pounds, working against Straight, 5'11", 194 pounds at the top of the screen in the route. And as you described, Joel, gets to the outside, good protection, giving Smith an opportunity. Ball thrown over the outside shoulder, giving the only guy the chance to catch it being Gage, his receiver. Nice throw, nice route.
Smith, the quarterback keeper, gets a little block from his lineman who pulled, and then he took a shot near the 30, but pops right back up. Kid's tough. Teddy Lehman with the hammer.
And Brandon Everidge came over the top and just put the big old pop on him. And this is the quarterback counter once again. Backside guard and tackle pulling, getting their blocks. Woo! Brandon Everidge says, I'm going to make you pay one time, young guy. Welcome to the Big 12. It's the conference opener. We hit in the Big 12. Get that mouthpiece in. There you go. Get it out of there. All right.
About 6 yards. Almost 7. On the carry by Smith. He's got 4 wide receivers setting up. No tight end. And now can he run for the first down? He will get there. He's run out of bounds near the 25. Derek Strait pushing him out.
And how long his arms are. I'll tell you, when he throws a stiff arm, he's rushed for over 100 yards against this Oklahoma defense. That doesn't happen very often by running backs, never mind quarterbacks. This is a running back that can throw the football well. I mean, he has got the total package. He is a dual threat. And Gary Pinkel is thrilled to death to have this guy for 3 more years after this.
And this is a guy that was also offered a scholarship to West Virginia.
Right.
He had made a commitment, hadn't signed, but made a commitment to Coach Pinkel and stayed with it. On 1st and 10. Going for the corner of the end zone, Justin Gage. Can't hang on. Derek Strait made sure of it.
Well, Smith gave him an opportunity, couldn't quite catch it.
Time for our Home Depot trivia. Which current Oklahoma coach was the runner-up to Bo Jackson for the 1985 Heisman Trophy? Put your hand down.
I know that one.
Put your hand down.
That was the closest voting in the Heisman Trophy history. The runner-up to Bo Jackson.
You are all over it as usual. Now 2nd and 10 for Missouri. Deep in Oklahoma territory. The blitz up the middle. Kid sees it. Trying to make the most of it. And takes a pop. And really is getting some shots. Now Everidge over there again. Straight. Lehman. But he pops right back up after a short gain. And didn't get much of a spot. Gain of only 2.
Now, is there contact in college football? Listen up a little bit. Woo. You know what? The young guy will learn not to leave his feet. When you leave your feet to hurdle one guy, in comes another to deposit you unceremoniously, just like Jonathan Jackson did that time.
Outlaw in motion. Or make it a shift by Gage. On 3rd and 8. And movement up front should be a free down. Fire on the slot. Gage has it. Touchdown, Missouri.
Well, no flag. I guess he didn't get in the neutral zone, but I saw the same movement you did, Joel. Here's the movement. That's the early movement. Didn't get all the way into the neutral zone. Slant. Beautiful throw. Right between linebacker and corner. And Gage runs the great route, and Smith puts it right between the 1 and the 2.
So with so much time left in the game, Missouri's not going to gamble. They'll go for the extra point the conventional way with Michael Matheny. Trying to make it a 9-point deficit, which they do. Missouri bounces right back with their first points of the second half. 5:27 left in the third. 23-14 Oklahoma. It is going to be Savage from the goal line. And now we've got whistles.
He took a knee. He took a knee when he caught the football. That's a touchback. When he caught the ball, his right knee was down.
Inadvertent He didn't understand that he had put it down.
Yep.
You're right. He put it down right at the goal line.
Watch the right knee. As he catches the football, boom, it's down. He's down right there, touchback. College football, when the knee's down, you're down.
And the Missouri Tigers are not complaining. So, kind of a whimsical look on the face of Bob Stoops. Disbelief. Like, what next? Griffin in the backfield with Hibble. Griffin, Belgian, still though he gets it past the 21 to the 22. Let's head down. Eric Lemons.
Well, you just got an idea of how talented redshirt freshman Brad Smith is. Upon recruiting him, Coach Gary Pinkel's final test was meeting Smith's church family. After spending 3 hours there being examined by Smith's church family, he was finally approved, and the deacon told Coach, I don't think you know what you got your hands on. I think tonight, fellas, he does.
I think he's got a pretty good idea.
Yeah, he sure does. He's special.
Coach Pinkel said, we found it. Diamond.
Yep.
Now heat on Hibble. Trying to ad-lib his way into a play, and he throws it wide of Curtis Fagan. But there was a Tiger in the neighborhood, Michael Harden. So a huge third down. Missouri trying to seize the momentum, trailing by 9.
Final comment on Smith, the redshirt freshman quarterback. Dave Christensen, the offensive coordinator from Missouri, said he's my kid's idol. And I can't think of a better idol for a young man to have. I'm proud that Brad Smith is my son's idol because this guy is as great a football player as he is. He's even better off the field. A super individual.
Third and close to 9. Hibble's got all day, and he's going to try to run for it. Needs to get to the 30 and won't make it. That is not his strength, and Missouri is about to get the ball back.
Tarpoff took his feet right out from under him. You know, you can't. Hibble's not Brad Smith out in the open field. He tried to be Edwin Moses and do the old hurdle routine and came up short. He hit the top of the hurdle and went down.
So Missouri holds for the first time in the second half. The previous 2 tries for Oklahoma resulted in long touchdowns. Justin Gage waiting for the punt. And they got their first pressure. Gage backpedaling to run. It's off the helmet of the Sooners at the 30.
Should be down right there.
At about the 30-yard line. They don't have to talk about using your noggin.
Yeah.
That was Will Peoples down there on the punt coverage. So now Missouri ready to get the football back. The young man we've been talking about, the redshirt freshman out of Youngstown, Ohio, Brad Smith. He is a diamond. We got the feelings of his head coach on this young man earlier today.
Well, I'm really pleased to have a redshirt freshman, 18 years old, play at the level he's played. Is you know, certainly a surprise. I think it's very unusual to play like he's played. His poise, his confidence, his production. But you know, this is the only 5th game he's played. This is a new experience. Obviously, every week's a new experience for him. And you know, playing against this defense will certainly be a test.
The one thing that impressed me the most, and looking at the numbers, because we don't know the young man personally like the people that work with him every day, 4 games into his college career, he had committed only 1 turnover.
Yeah, 1 turnover, no penalties. Hadn't been the reason for any penalties. I mean, he was not beating his own football team. He was beating the opposition regularly. Comment about Will Peoples, that ball hit him off the top of the head. He started covering the punt at 6'1". He's 6 feet now. That sucker shrunk him.
Smith out of the gun, where they've seen most of their success. Abram bouncing off a man at the 30. He's down the sideline, still maintaining his balance. What a run by Zach Abram. Inside the 40, stunning Oklahoma as Derek Strait makes the stop from behind.
Well, Brandon Everidge is the defender that tried to just block him to the ground. And we talked about Abram, 5'10", 225. He just ran right through it. Watch Everidge, boom. Everidge makes the hit, and Abram says, that's not, you got to wrap your arms around me. That was a face mask that was missed. And Abram off to the races. Great effort. Good blocking up front. And, man, Everidge is a big hitter, but it didn't even faze Abram.
Well, Banner ends their 29-game conference losing streak, so congratulations to Kevin Steele and the Banner Bears. Now, on the double move, Smith, a jump ball, Justin Gage. Does he have it? They say he's out of bounds. He held on. Derek Strait on the sideline trying to cover. Although former basketball power forward.
Now remember, you have to have possession and 1 foot in bounds in college football. Possession, 1 foot in bounds. Did he have possession? Juggle. Nope, no possession. That's a good call.
From that
that's
angle,
a good
that's
call.
tough to see, though.
It's a good call.
Because he went down with the ball locked in his left arm.
Now,
couldn't tell.
Like it has been said before, 1 knee equals 2 feet. If you get your elbow or shoulder down in the field of play with possession, the official was looking. He had a good view. We were looking through his body. The official was looking right at the football.
2nd and 10. Smith on the quarterback keeper again with blockers out in front, going for the first down. Will he get there? Dives and gets there. Boy, he is just slinking. He's tough to get a good hit on.
He is. He's like Gumby out there. I mean, he bends. He's flexible. He's Gumby that runs a 4.5. I mean, that's hard to tackle. He just kind of contorts himself and makes people miss. Quarterback counter once again. Look at the patience. Just letting his blockers set up. He's got tremendous feet, tremendous balance. Just a pure athlete. What a gift.
Matt McCoy finally got to him, but not before he moves the chains again. Missouri down by 9 at the 28 of Oklahoma. Abram, he was really countered that time. No gain. They almost took his helmet off. Teddy Lehman with a hit.
That was the same blocking by the offensive line. They pulled the offside guard and tackle, but instead of quarterback, Abram ran the counter.
So Kevin Steele gets his first conference victory as the head coach of the Baylor Bears.
Oh, they're dancing in the streets of Waco. Can they dance in Waco?
Now you can on campus, just recently, yes.
Okay, well, they're dancing on campus anyway. I think what do you think they're doing? The line dance? Or
what is it, the Brazos River? They're swimming down the river.
I'd be doing the funky chicken or something funky.
T.J. Leon in for the first time, the senior from Norman, Oklahoma. 2nd and 10. Smith popping it over to the little guy. It's complete. Straight and Lehman converging. And it's a gain, a short one at that, inside the 25. Not much there for T.J. Leon.
Got to get points out of this drive if you're the Missouri Tigers. 9-point game. Got to get something on the board. It's dicey right now if you're thinking about field goal scenarios. 3rd down and long. Got to get some yards to at least having a more makeable scenario field goal wise.
Pretty strong numbers tonight, but they need close to 7. Looking over to the left side, goes over to the left side to Leon. Leon looking for another block. He won't get it. He's shut down to the 20-yard line. So McCoy actually, the tight end, had him the previous catch. Now Leon does have his first grab, but Derek Strait put him down short by a little more than 2.
Decision, do you kick or do you go for it on 4th? You have to field goal and touchdown you need. You're in field goal range.
You need 2 scores. You got to kick the field goal here, and it's so early. It's so early anyway, Dave.
Absolutely. You got a quarter in a minute and 30. I mean, it's a given.
But it's going to be, it's not a chip shot. It's about a 38-yard try coming up.
Now the operation wasn't a given. Deep snapper has struggled. Everything's been inside for Farmer. Let's see this one.
To make it a 6-point game. A good snap. Matheny, though, did he block it out? Oh, no, he's got it inside the upright. 6-point ball game.
It hit the right upright and bounced in. He glanced it off there. Unbelievable.
So it turned out to be a chip shot, didn't it? A chip off the bank.
Exactly. This is like billiards. He went off the, he called the shot off the right upright, and it's just a boink, boink, and it goes right by the old flag up there. He's leaking, ting in. Ooh, man, that's tight.
I'll tell you something. You sound like a video game up here. So Missouri celebrates with 10 unanswered points, and they make it a 6-point game. With 67 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. It's now Oklahoma 23, Mizzou 17. And I don't think anybody thought Mizzou was going to hang around this long.
In Missouri, their goal was to get into the 4th quarter with an opportunity to win. They're a minute and 7 seconds from getting into the 4th quarter, 1 score down in this football game. Their game plan is being answered to this point.
Going back deep once again, the combination. Well, Savage and Perkins, and it's going to be taken to the 5-yard line by Perkins. Across the 20, look out for the 25, and he's belted at the 28-yard line. Kewan Jones in the backfield. He'll get him the short side toss sweep. And they'll put him out early. Knock him out just across the 30. They'll spot it near the 31-yard line. Jason Simpson, once again, the other safety they call the whip, forced him
And Joel, I think Missouri's been more methodical than Oklahoma. Oklahoma dominated the third quarter and was due to missed tackles. R.J. Jones goes for an interception, misses a tackle on Fagan, and Fagan takes it to the house. Doyle misses a tackle on Quentin Griffin, and he takes it to the house. Missouri has been more methodical.
They have not forced a turnover yet, though. And they're one of the best teams in the nation at doing that. Griffin, big hole. He's got a first down. He's into the secondary across the 50, all the way down to the Missouri 42. The senior from Aldine, Texas, doing it again, and close to going over 100 yards with that carry.
Nice job. Watch the lane right here, the natural lane that Griffin takes advantage of. You got to close it a little tighter. I mean, you can't just wander up the line of scrimmage. Ellison has to tighten it down. He has to squeeze it a lot better than that. Good blocking by left guard and left tackle, but Ellison has to squeeze the point of attack. He just kind of took himself out of the play.
12 carries, 94 yards now for Quentin Griffin. And they'll keep going back to him until they slow him down. They collared him around the ankles. Sean Doyle got him low after a gain of 3. They talk about feathering it out. Ellison, as you say, he feathered himself right out of the play.
Yeah, he did. He got caught in no man's land, and he kind of did it all by his lonesome. Nice blocking inside. I mean, that's just a great job. I mean, the point of attack was collapsed. They knocked right down inside, but they were expecting, a little bit of help by Ellison, who was unblocked. And Ellison was shocked he was unblocked and took himself out of the play.
Well, that's the end of the third quarter of play as Missouri came back after Oklahoma dominated the first 7 or 8 minutes of the third 15 minutes. After 3, 23-17 Oklahoma. You're watching College Football Saturday, presented by Kyocera on Fox Sports Net. The third and short outside of the 36 of Missouri. Bynum finally got to the little guy. As you said, there's not much room to bring him down.
No, look at him, 101 yards on 14 carries. Averaging over 7 yards a pop coming in. He's doing exactly that. Just about his average, 7.3 coming into tonight's game, and he's at it again.
Missouri has not beaten Oklahoma as a ranked team since 1983. They shut him out that day 10-0, and one of the assistant coaches, Andy Hill, caught the only touchdown of the game. Now critical, the third down, and it looked too easy for Oklahoma. On the quick one, over to Mark Clayton.
Well,
again, when it's only 3rd and 4, Dave, they're giving them 6, 7, 8 yards off the line.
Yeah, they're afraid of getting beaten deep, beaten over the top, and they're giving that big cushion. Look at this. Look at how far off the line of scrimmage he is. I mean, that's just saying, you know what? You got speed, and I'm afraid of your speed, Clayton. So I'm gonna give you an opportunity to catch the football and rally to the ball and bring you down immediately.
First down, Sooners. Opening minute of the fourth quarter. They've got it to the Mizzou 26. Hibble going deep and up for grabs, almost intercepted.
Ooh, Jones almost had it.
It went through Brandon Jones, and R.J. Jones almost had his 4th pick over the last 2 games.
Jones and Jones. Is that a law firm or an accounting company? There's something out there. Jones on Jones. And R.J. Jones blew a tire. He had a tire change down there.
This Missouri program has been in hibernation for so long, almost a couple of decades now. I remember in the 70s when they did have big ones. They had big upsets. That has not been the case for close to 20 years now. Now, 2nd and 10. Quick one. Outside, nothing there. The tight end, Trent Smith.
Now, Oklahoma has to get some yards on this 3rd and long. DiCarlo, the place kicker, has already missed a field goal, has already missed an extra point. It could be 27-17, but DiCarlo has cost them 4 points. Bob Stoops is thinking, geez, do I have him try a field goal of over 40 yards? I don't think so. I think it might be 4-down territory. We'll have to see what happens on 3rd down.
His longest so far this year has been a 44-yarder. Now the critical 3rd and long. Griffin, and also works in the backfield. Hibble with time, pocket holds up well. Now it collapses, and he's down. It's a sack. They got him outside of the 26, back near the 27. Kinney collapsing on the quarterback.
That's what's called the old coverage sack, Joel. Nowhere for Hibble to go with the football. And this is a guy you got to put 2 men on, and they do. They kind of wash him down, pancake. Good job by Skinner, and nowhere for Hibble to go with the football. And he doesn't have that explosive start. So they are going to try the old 43-yard field goal attempt right here.
The true freshman from Carrollton, Texas, with plenty of pressure. He already missed one, a 34-yarder. It's back, it's on its way, plenty of distance, but it's wide.
Pushed it right.
He pushed it, and there is a flag down on the play.
Another flag. A second flag comes in late. Is it the same thing or is it two different things? Are they going to call excessive celebration on Missouri?
Yes, the linesman came in real late.
Yeah, and he saw Missouri jumping around. Boy, if they call celebration there, Gary Pinkel will blow a gasket. It's a legal procedure on Oklahoma. Same call by both flags. Missouri will say, nah, we'll take the play. Missed field goal.
Illegal formation on Oklahoma. There were only 6 players on the line of scrimmage. Penalties decline. First down.
Missouri continues to have the momentum after the miss by DeCarlo. We'll see if they can take advantage of the situation. It was a miss from 43 yards away. Never had a chance. Tigers have it back. Down by only 6. This year, like the game we did against North Carolina State, Dave, and Texas Tech, anything could happen.
No question about it. Parity in college football.
Smith wants to throw. Now can he elude them? Yes, at the 30. Great speed to the 40. Look at him get a block downfield. Breaks through around tackle to the 40. This kid is incredible.
Lance Mitchell, the linebacker, was in pursuit, and it was no contest. And supposedly Lance Mitchell runs 4.65. If that's the case, Brad Smith runs a lot faster than 4.5. I mean, he just steps up into the pocket, and now he bounces. And look at Mitchell. No contest. And then down the football field, Gage working, and he steps inside. Perkins splits 2 defenders, picks up an extra 7 yards. Big time.
And knew when to go out of bounds. Didn't take the extra hit like we've seen with other quarterbacks that have suffered concussions on similar plays. 1st and 10 inside the Oklahoma 38. Abram, anything? They've shut that play down since the opening quarter. No gain. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, this is Brad Smith's first crack at the national landscape, national television, and United States of America. Welcome this guy right here, Brad Smith. He has got star quality written all over him. That is one excellent athlete at the quarterback position.
You know, you're dangerous. You're dangerous with an Etch-a-Sketch.
I'm telling you, man.
Brad Smith has already got over 300 yards in total offense. He averages 317 a game. He's rushed for 155 yards, 98 a game coming in on average, 3rd best of the Big 12. Now, looking over to the slot, it was available early, backpedaling, and overshoots Darius Outlaw. That's not all bad for Missouri. It could have been a disaster.
Do you know how tough that play is?
Well,
I mean, he's
backpedaling.
Yeah, in the face of pressure, going away from the line of scrimmage, throws across his body to the left sideline from the middle of the field. He showed elusiveness and arm strength.
Are you telling me we can make more visits to the University of Missouri in the future?
I'm telling you that, yeah. I'm telling you that this guy is the real deal. You know, people are like, you know, he played against Troy State, Bowling Green, Ball State. This is Oklahoma. This defense is legit, and he's doing it.
Now 3rd and 10. Can he get enough yards over the middle? He's got a 1st down. Darius Outlaw hangs on. Everidge gave him a shot again, but he hangs on to the 25.
And you know what? Brad Smith is, as advertised, tremendous athletic ability, but so poised. I mean, he's not excited. I mean, he's in total control. And look at the patience in the pocket and throws a dart. And it's just, it's like, you know, keep going. You're something. I mean, you're making life easy for us up front. We love you, man. We absolutely love you.
Now, Missouri trying to take the lead for the first time today. They trail by 6. They've got a 1st and 10 of the Oklahoma 25. Tough running for Zach Abram. He's doing his best, but every time he spins, somebody's waiting. That time, Dan Cody finally wrapped him up. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And this is where Missouri struggled mightily last year. Gary Pinkel talked about the fact that his football team wasn't strong enough, wasn't fast enough, wasn't well conditioned enough, and they got hammered in the 4th quarter. Here, they're playing the number 3 team in the country with 10.5 minutes to play off their feet in the 4th quarter. Gary Pinkel has done one whale of a job with his players here.
2nd and 10, Smith looking over and too tall again for this time Sean Coffey. First time he went after the redshirt freshman from Cleveland.
Look at the height on
and
Sean
it was a
Coffey.
little bit behind him as well. But you're right, 6'6" on Coffey.
Man, that's a heck of a cup of coffee. They're 6'6". That's not a tall drink of water. That's a tall drink of coffee.
Well, Matheny already has a 38-yarder. This would put it at, if they don't get another yard, at about 42, 43 yards. Smith trips to the wide side.
10 men at the line of scrimmage for Oklahoma.
Quarterback draw. And he breaks tackles into the secondary. Forget about it. Touchdown, Missouri.
Unbelievable.
Yards, an extra point away from taking the lead.
10 men at the line of scrimmage. He busts it. Everidge overruns it. McCoy has no chance. Smith freezes McCoy and bounces it to the inside the pylon. This kid is, whoo, man.
Now Matheny in the spotlight, and Missouri has the lead. Do you believe it? The Tigers were just down 23-7. And now with a 1-point lead for head coach Gary Pinkel. This Bugs group has got some rhythm, don't they?
They do. They
Perkins and Savage headed to the side of Perkins. Look out. He returned to last year this distance, but not this time. He won't make it to the 20. What coverage. Brandon Bard's down there. Are these kids pumped up, Dave?
Look at Smith's numbers. Almost 10 yards a carry. In the second half, Brad Smith has been a show. I mean, this kid, he is so poised. He's a little stiff arm there. The slant pass for a touchdown to Gage. Just right on the money with his throw. And when he finds a lane, a rush lane, in the defensive line, if they lose their lane integrity, he takes it out the house. And this was just a fantastic, you know, it makes you think about not blitzing anymore. He's got McCoy in the open field, one-on-one. 10 men crowd the line of scrimmage. Oklahoma blitzes. He finds a crease and says, don't do that anymore.
On first down, Hibble out of the gun. He's got space on the outside. Will Peoples definitely down the sideline with plenty of room. And that'll quiet him down to the 49-yard line. I still can't believe they're giving him that big a cushion on the sides.
And you know what? If they're going to do that, Joel, and let him catch the football, you have to tackle. And that was a missed tackle. I mean, it should have been about an 8-yard completion, but because of the missed tackle, Peoples takes it about an extra 15 to 18 yards. If you're going to let him catch the football in front of you, you got to end the journey right there.
10:04 left in regulation. On a first down, Quick Griffin bouncing off the first. There is a flag on the play, right at the original line. Trent Smith. Did he leave early?
Did Oklahoma have 7 on the line of scrimmage? Illegal shift. 2 men moving at the same time.
Cost Oklahoma a gain of 3 on first down, but they got 3 snaps to make it up. Now the defensive coordinator for the Missouri Tigers,
Matt
Eberflus. They've got one of the youngest staffs we've ever met with.
Exactly. He looks like he's 18.
The screen, Griffin, and he can't hang on. Did he control it enough, though, to make it a catch?
I think it's a catch and a fumble, and he recovered his own fumble.
Okay, lost the handle once he took off. He is always moving so fast to begin with.
He is. He's a blur. But he has possession. It looks like he takes a couple of steps. It catches it, takes a couple of steps, and then loses it. Ooh, that's close. He took a step and a half anyway.
Oklahoma
he never did tuck it.
They've not turned the ball over today. There's only one turnover in the game.
Yep.
And that was the interception by the Sooners in the first half. Now Hibble on 2nd and long, fires behind his man. It's popped away from Curtis Fagan by R.J. Jones. Ball thrown behind. Fagan to the slant.
And with that turnover, that takeaway, Joel, Oklahoma's had at least one takeaway in 40 of their last 42 games. But Missouri's really taking care of the football tonight. Bob Stoops coaches aggressiveness, and he's got size and speed. And that aggressive mentality and the physicality of the players results in defensive takeaways a lot of times.
Biggest third down of the game for Oklahoma. They need to shift the momentum, trailing by a point. Trips to the wide side for Hibble. Here comes Heat. Hibble's down inside the 40. The blitz paid off. Russ Bell finished up the play. The junior tackle.
Every single member of the defensive line got a tremendous first step. Watch the takeoff. And they all hit an edge. And look at that. They all simultaneously beat their pass protectors. I mean, it was meet at the quarterback like a 4-lane interstate.
Blake Ferguson to punt it away. Justin Gage waits back deep for Missouri. Not Marcus James, but Gage at the 20. High one, but a very short one, and Mizzou will stay away from it, I believe.
Wow, look at the bounce.
Great bounce for Oklahoma, all the way inside the 20. That is a 20-yard roll just about. Smith on his own. And nothing there as he takes a shot at the 17-yard line from Lance Mitchell. Back downstairs. What's the latest, Eric?
All right, Oklahoma, of course, coming off the field after that sack. Everybody, as Dave Lapham said, had a meeting at the quarterback, and they all looked up at the replay to see just how bad the protection was on that particular play. Meanwhile, Smith is hurt after that last run. He's shaken up. He's being attended to by the official on the field. Right now, all the momentum with Missouri, but it would be a big blow if Brad Smith couldn't finish this game after taking a hard shot on the sideline here. He took the Oklahoma side of the field, guys.
Right to the head, Eric. He took a shot right to the head, and right now he's trying to decide if he's in Columbia or Norman. And the trainers are looking at his eyes to see how clear they are. And watch as ducks his head. Ooh, he took helmet to helmet. Lance Mitchell. Just a tremendous blow to the head of Brad Smith, but it looks like he's negotiating his way off the field. He's not zigzagging, he's not serpentining, so he looks like he's got his head cleared up a little bit.
Now they bring in a quarterback who has started in the past, though. He has not yet taken a snap today, and that is Kirk Farmer, who Coach Pinkel told us here. Now here's a senior, and he started 14 games over the last 3 seasons. He's had seasons wiped out, though, good portion of one due to a broken leg. But Coach Pinkel said he's been really supportive of Brad Smith. Well, Missouri jumps, and all of a sudden now a different voice, a different cadence.
Absolutely. Different timing, different voice, different cadence. Kirk Farmer, after he lost the job, he said, all I'm going to do is compete every day in practice to get it back.
Prior to the snap, false start. Missouri, 5 yards, still second down.
And now Brad Smith is going to come right back in after the loss of 5. So Smith clears out the cobwebs. And you can understand it after we saw the helmet-to-helmet contact from Lance Mitchell.
And he was trying to get down. I mean, he was trying to assume the fetal position, get down a little bit, and he took it right in the noggin.
Oh, almost intercepted. It is picked up. The interception for Everidge. And Oklahoma's got it deep in Missouri territory.
Well, I wonder if the cobwebs were totally clear.
It's interesting, though, you would throw deep in your own territory at this point of the game.
Oh, man, that young man's bitterly disappointed. He's only thrown 2 interceptions on the season. He threw one tonight, and just staring down his primary receiver, Gage, trying to hit the slant again, and Everidge just followed the eyes of the quarterback right to the football.
And you got to believe, if you're going to throw the slant as many times as they have tonight, you better mix things up.
Gary Pinkel was right over there to his young quarterback, Brad Smith, saying, we're with you. Don't worry about it. You're the reason we have a lead right now. Don't worry. We'll come back.
Griffin and Works. They give over to the near side. Not much there for Works, but he lunges for an extra yard to the 14. Yeah, that was something because Pinkel knows he needs Brad Smith in a big way when they get the football back.
And turnovers have been a big story in both these teams' successes early this season. Missouri came in +10. Now they're +8, -2 tonight. Oklahoma came in +8. They're +10 now, +2 on the night. So turnovers have been huge for both teams.
Antoine Bynum shaken up on the play, so he leaves the field.
He's their best edge pass rusher, Joel. That's a big blow to lose him.
Ronaldo works. G1 Jones comprising the backfield for Oklahoma. And right now, a chip shot of a field goal for the most part for DeCarlo. If they can't pick up the first down.
A two-back set. That's real rare.
Hibble on 2nd and 8. Into the end zone he goes. It's just wide of Antoine Savage. R.J. Jones trying to keep up with him. It was available, though. Our Home Depot trivia question we asked earlier, which current Oklahoma coach, the runner-up to Bo Jackson for the 85 Iverson Trophy. How about their offensive coordinator, former Iowa quarterback Chuck Long?
Yeah, here he is right here on the very end. Chuck Long. He had a great career for Hayden Fry at the University of Iowa. They've only lost one game, 5-1, one loss to Iowa State, their big rival.
Well, a timeout has been called by Oklahoma. Find out what they do. Trailing by a point when we come back on 3rd and 8.
They said, you know what, 3rd and long, Hibble is one-dimensional. He doesn't have the quick feet of a Smith. He's staying in the pocket. He's going to throw it. So we know we have a stationary target. We're going to bring 6 people and make them hurry his throw. And it comes back to the man who struggled, DeCarlo. He's missed 2 field goals and an extra point tonight, all makeable. Although the last field goal, 43 yards, is no gimme. See if he can convert here.
For the lead, a 31-yard attempt. He just missed from 43 yards away. And now the fake into the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma. They went to the tight end. Chris Chester on the score. So Bob Stoops, the gambler, comes through.
Do you know how much courage it takes to do that? I mean, that is phenomenal. And Bob Stoops is going for 2.
Doesn't have a choice, leading by 5.
You know, I lost track of the holder. Was the holder McCoy? If the holder was a backup quarterback.
Holder Matt McCoy, the junior from Jenks, Oklahoma.
Well, I'll tell you, McCoy throws a darn good ball then. Because, you know, usually you see a backup quarterback throw a pass like that. McCoy's the normal holder, and then they didn't tip their hand with a different holder. And McCoy comes out and throws a strike. Double coverage. I mean, Missouri had good coverage on Chester. Great throw, great catch, encouraged by Bob Stoops to call the play.
Now the 2-point conversion. You got to believe Quentin Griffin is going to touch the football. He's back there with Ronaldo works.
Well, they're going to go right here to their big tight end, Trent.
Looking for Smith. Back of the end zone. Yes, they find Curtis Fagan for 2. But what a job in setting the fake. And then the throw you talked about.
Boy, McCoy. I mean, right. Look, there's good coverage, but that is just a perfect throw. I mean, there's a couple of guys back there.
They never located the ball, though.
No, they didn't.
They really didn't turn around and look at the football.
But the coverage wasn't terrible, and McCoy throws a nice ball. I mean, I'll tell you what. I mean, you have bracket coverage on that, and they get it done. You have Kinney and you have King in coverage, and McCoy throws a strike. And the 2-point conversion along the back of the end zone, just doing the tightrope back there is Fagan. They ran a little double crossing pattern, and Trent Smith went underneath, and Fagan crossed behind him, and it was on the back line for a 2-point conversion, 7-point game. And look at their huge play for that nickel defensive back / quarterback. He slash.
Now, was he in bounds when he caught it? He got the call.
Possession, 1 foot down. Where's that right foot? Left
he
foot's
was out of bounds.
Left foot's down, though. Left foot's down. That's a catch. Left foot's down.
What was down first, though? That's a good call. And a tough one.
Yep.
Was the left down?
Right.
Or did the right hit first?
Yep. And he had possession and only 1 down, but which one was down first? And if it was simultaneous, that's tough. We're slow motion stop. They have to make it right on the spot.
They go away from James. It's going to be instead the wide receiver with some nice moves. Shuganya Mitchell all the way to the 30-yard line. So Missouri's got it in decent field position. The pressure back on the Tigers. And redshirt freshman quarterback Brad Smith, as they tell Mitchell to stay in the game, which tells you that it's going to be a spread attack.
And Lance Mitchell, gets a big assist because Lance Mitchell is the one that goes helmet to helmet. Boom, right there, and knocks Brad Smith woozy. Farmer comes in, different cadence, and they get a false start. And then the very next play, Smith comes back, and Everidge reads the route, reads his eyes, steps in for the big pick that led to the touchdown.
Now, Johnson. And Brad Smith, rather, with plenty of room past the 35, up to the 38. He gets 8 on first down, but, you know, back to the interception. They have 14 points off turnovers. Don't forget about the first turnover. That turned into a 20-yard field goal. So it's 10 off turnovers right now.
10 off turnovers, which negates 7 points missed by your kicker. 2 field goals and an extra point.
How do you think DiCarlo felt after they went for the fake?
Oh. Yeah, well, and that's really another reason that was part of the thought process that went through Stoops' mind, I'm sure.
From the 38, 2nd and 2. Abram will get the first down, but just barely across the 40. Teddy Lehman on the hit.
But that's what makes Bob Stoops Bob Stoops. I mean, you know,
he's got guts.
He has guts, and that's Mike Stoops, his brother, the defensive coordinator. And Bob is just, I'll tell you, he has his kids believing. It's just they wait to win. It's not like they expect to win. They wait to win. And it all starts with him and the attitude that's pervasive.
T.J. Leon, the only one in the backfield. 4 wide receivers to spread the defense. It'll be a 5-man rush. And Brad Smith can't get away from Teddy Lehman. It's a sack, and that's a rarity in this game for Oklahoma.
Sure is. I think that's only their second one tonight. They came in with 4. I think that's only their second sack on the night, I believe.
So now 2nd, and about 14 coming up for Missouri. Clock working against it now. Inside of 5 minutes to play. Again, 3 wide receivers this time. Shallow cross for Justin Gage. Doesn't do much, though. They read it perfectly. Back to the 40-yard line. Lehman on his back. And now the biggest third down of the day for Brad Smith and Missouri.
And Mike Stoops and the defensive staff and players are glad that it's 3rd and 11. Because 3rd and medium, 3rd and short, it's no challenge for Brad Smith. 3rd and 11 presents a little bit of a challenge anyway.
Missouri still has all 3 of their timeouts left. Now Smith with a double move. Looks down the middle, and it's intercepted. He had, I thought, coming over to this side. Gage, as he took a shot, Outlaw was the intended target. Eric Bassey with the pick. So Oklahoma coming up with the big plays. 3 takeaways. And none so far for Missouri.
Bassey is the replacement of Roy Williams at the safety position. And Bassey just has great coverage. He looks like the primary receiver. I mean, he was just all over Outlaw. And Brad Smith takes a late hit and takes it down to the turf. Provided by Dan Cody, but he saw the interception and dejected.
Back-to-back interceptions for Oklahoma. Griffin can't spin away, gets a yard. And now Missouri will have to stop them. If they can't stop them after 3 snaps, then they have to start thinking about using their timeouts right away.
I really thought that if it was going to be a close game for Missouri, it would be very low scoring. This is a lot higher scoring football game than I thought it would be for it to be this close in the 4th quarter.
And this Oklahoma team, top 10 in scoring defense, giving up an average of the first 4 of only 10 points a game. Gives you an idea of what Smith presents for the opposition. Griffin, it works. In the backfield, it's out of the gun. It's Griffin. And he breaks tackles effectively again. Should have been a loss. Instead, he's got it to the 38. Stayed in bounds. James Kinney thought he had him. Ferguson finally made the hit. The executive producer of Fox Sports Net, Bill Borson. Coordinating producers of College Football Saturday, Roy Hamilton and Gary Garcia. Tonight's game produced by Mike Kelly, directed by Ken Fax. The College Football Saturday studio show produced by Loy Maxson and directed by Joe Williams. Senior Vice President of Field Operations, Andrea Berry. And the Vice President of Field Operations is Karen Newman.
I'll tell you what, all our guys that provided the pictures tonight, they brought their A game as well. Boy, we got some good shots of what took place in this football game. It was excellent.
Been that kind of night in Columbia, Missouri. Now Oklahoma hitting only a third of their third down tries. They've got 5 for 15 so far, and now they use their second timeout. So they've only got 1 left. Missouri still has 3 on the board. They stop it with 2:35 to play. And we talked about it frequently, can Missouri afford not to get up on the line of scrimmage close to the wide receivers?
And really, with Hibble, he's one-dimensional. They know if it's a shotgun snap to Hibble, he's throwing the football. So they're going to have to provide the tight coverage. Now they have to decide, do we blitz? And if we blitz, we have to provide tighter coverage. I mean, all that is flying through everybody's heads right now.
Nobody has left this ballpark.
Absolutely.
I mean, it is jam-packed. They wondered what it would take to get this program going once again.
It's blackout. I mean, the lighting's good. Everybody's wearing black. That's why it looks like it's night. It is nighttime, but good lights. See the lights. Everybody's in black though. What a football game these people have seen. And this kid is a beacon of light for the Missouri program right there. He is something special with a capital S.
Brad Smith, the redshirt freshman from Youngstown, Ohio. Griffin. The single to the backfield with Hibble. 2 to the short side. Room on the outside of the wide side. Hibble looking up in the middle. Now fires underneath the tight end. They don't get the first down. Trent Smith lost his footing. It'll be a punting situation, and Missouri should use a timeout right here.
They should, absolutely.
Clock moving.
Yep.
And they still haven't called a timeout. Up next on Fox Sports Net, Oregon and Arizona. So another top 10 team coming up. The number 3 Oklahoma Sooners trying to hang on. And Missouri is not stopping the clock. Interesting.
And really, it took a while for the officials to set the football and start the play clock. And Oklahoma should just melt it down to the 2 seconds.
Justin Gage waiting for the Blake Ferguson punt. And he will take it down very wisely. With about 1:45 left.
1 second on the play clock, they snapped it.
Kicks it away. Gage calling for the fair catch, and Missouri needs to move. 77 yards to tie it up. So the Tigers have it at their own 23. Minute 39, all 3 timeouts remaining. But don't forget, by not stopping the clock, they lost a good 40 seconds.
And this young man, if he can bring his team from behind to tie this football game with 1 minute and 39 seconds to go, on top of everything else he's done, there's been a lot of good and some bad. 3 interceptions. They were all painful, but he has done a great job tonight.
2 to each side for Brad Smith. He's got all day. Now room to move. Makes a mess. Do you believe this kid? Flag down though. It's going to go against Missouri, I believe, downfield trying to block.
Yeah, I think it's one of the big offensive linemen locked up down the football field, and maybe get his hands outside the framework of the body. There'll be a holding penalty from that spot, about the 41, 42-yard line, it looked like.
Well, it was a first down for Brad Smith. It'll be a hold.
The other way. The other way.
Well, the big guy was trying to go downfield to block, and he was held up. That's a rarity, isn't it?
Well, they didn't call holding against an offensive lineman, so they must have called one of the tight ends or wide receiver. It's going to be tacked on the end of the run.
It was while the play was in progress.
So they're trying to determine exactly where the spot took place. Now it's one of those.
Is it a spot foul?
Spot foul deals, exactly. And do you decline it because you gain more yards than the 5 from the spot of the foul?
They're tacking it on.
On Oklahoma, 10 yards from the end of the run.
Tacking it on.
So that turns out to be a gain of 27 yards, including the penalty for Mizzou. 90 seconds to play, and they only need 50 yards.
And Bob Stoops is saying that. Isn't that from the point of the stop, from the point of the spot? Why are you tacking it on the end? And he's kind of befuddled and bewildered, and I'm not sure he got an explanation he was real happy with.
7-point lead for Oklahoma. Clock running against Missouri. And Smith again with the lane closing. He's got about 7 on that carry, and they need to call a timeout. They finally do. But boy, they wasted some time. 62 seconds to play. Still, with 2 timeouts on the board, that's an eternity. Maybe they just don't want to give Oklahoma the ball back.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think they're trying to score with as little time left as possible, and that's all well and good. But if you try to take it, be too cute with it, it can backfire on you, and you might not have enough time to run plays even with timeouts in your possession. So, but this is you talk about growing up fast. How much pressure is this kid facing right now? 209 yards rushing against Oklahoma. This isn't, Troy State. A new Missouri quarterback record against the Sooners defense, which is outstanding. We talked about the Sooner team speed. Brad Smith said, what speed? This guy's operating at warp speed.
Dave, last week he accounted for 350 yards of total offense, 213 through the air, 137 rushing. Tonight, he's got 209 rushings. We just saw a new Missouri record for a quarterback. Tack onto that, 174 throwing. So he's just below 400 in total offense.
But he'd say you can have all those yards if I didn't throw those 3 picks. For all that good.
You can throw the slant a little bit too often, can't you?
Yeah, and for all the good, he's done an incredible amount of good, but all of his interceptions resulted in points. And he bemoans that fact. There's no doubt about it. But this guy is big time.
Now, after the timeout, Missouri's got it. 2nd and short. 2nd and 4. They put him down to the 44. Out of the gun where he's been so successful. He's got a wall to the right side. Over the middle and through the hands of the tight end, Fredrickson. Teddy Lehman in the back of the tight end. Tell you right now, I don't know how much I take the ball out of his hands. They had a wall and a seal over to the near side. Right side of the field, he could have run for 15 yards easy.
That's true. And once again, remember in college football, the clock stops when you generate a first down. So they still have 2 timeouts remaining.
But they only have 2 snaps now.
Right, 58 seconds on the clock. And so what we were talking about, being judicious with the use of timeouts, you can almost play it too cute.
They need 4 yards and 2 snaps. Smith looking underneath, now going and throwing a low percentage pass behind Sean Coffey, the redshirt freshman. So it's down to 1 snap for Missouri. And it's interesting that they haven't kept it in the hands of Brad Smith.
And on this 4th down play, snapping the ball from the left hash mark, I would get him out of pocket, give him a run-pass option to the right side.
Move the pocket.
Yep.
Just by design to his strong side, his right side, which is right now the wide side of the field.
Or I don't know if I would rather have a personal protector out there running naked and let him get out of pocket and put a lot of pressure on the outside linebackers and corners, but...
And I'd also tell the kid to call timeout if you don't like what you see. This is it. 4th and 4. Smith looking to run. Will he get there? Diving. It's loose.
Lost the ball.
Loose ball. Who gets it? Still on the ground. Missouri, Oklahoma. Missouri got it inside the 25.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Palmer, the big salty guard. The kid from Oklahoma, the kid from Norman, the tough guy.
Now, they better regroup in a hurry. There's only 43 seconds left.
Time
and they're
out.
going to talk about.
Timeout.
They're talking about now. It's a 4th down fumble. He had the first down already. Do they bring it back to the point of the fumble?
Yeah, they do. But I think he already had the necessary yards for the first down.
He got to the 39 when it came free.
And that's what they're talking to Gary Pinkel about. The old Dave Casper rule. 4th down fumbles, you can't fumble it forward on 4th down and advance it. I think you can if you recover your own fumble.
You said it. It's only the man who gets it.
You can't have somebody else fall on your fumble when you fumble it forward on 4th down, and Smith didn't come up with it, so it goes back to the spot where he lost possession. And man, it's very dicey whether he makes it or not. It looks like
he's got it by a yard.
Looks like he makes it.
He wanted to go to the 40. He needed to go to the 40. The foot's on the 39.
39, yeah.
He's got the first down.
Yeah, he does.
So they'll bring it back to the 39.
And they're trying to determine exactly where the ball was when it came out of Smith's hands. Boy, there was a pop. That ball came flying out of there.
The ball was down. The ball will come back to the spot of the fumble. It was beyond the line to gain. It's a first down.
Now, Missouri's got to hurry because they'll start the clock, and they might want to call a timeout here.
I think so.
Now they're going to get up to the line. Is Oklahoma ready?
That ball's out on the on the 41-yard line, not the 39. They got a very generous spot. They put the spot of the ball where he fell after the tackle. The ball came out 2 yards behind that at the 41-yard line, and they spotted it where he fell down at the 39.
A
big break for Missouri.
Huge break for the Tigers as the drive and their chances are still alive. And Gary Pinkel asking about the 4th down fumble.
He's got the first down. They're not disputing that. He's yelling about the timeout or something. But Smith lost possession of the football at the 41-yard line, not the 39-yard line. So if I were Gary Pinkel, obviously not aware of that, and he's still fighting for everything he could possibly get for his football team. But he got a big break right there.
So Missouri still has a hope. They have 1 timeout remaining. And it wouldn't be alive
now
had not for they've received a great spot.
Right at the 40. Look, the ball's out. He has to get here to the 40-yard line. The ball's out at the 38.5. And this is where they mark it at the 39, where he falls for forward progress. The ball's out, and then it goes forward, and they mark it where he goes down. And the ball was out of there long before that. Big break for the Tigers.
No review in college football.
Nope.
So now the Tigers are ready to go. They do have 1 timeout remaining, trailing 31-24. Can Smith do it again? Here comes the extra man up on the rush over the middle. Too high for Sean Coffey. And he was wide open with room to move. Derek Strait was beaten on the pattern.
And he's 6'6", and Strait's 5'11". And man, oh boy, that was close. And it's hard to overthrow 6'6", but it happened.
So now 2nd and 10, 39 seconds to play. 2 on the wide side. Smith very rarely under his center. In trouble. Got it away in time, but short of the first down. They might want to use their final timeout. It'll be 3rd and about 6 from the 35. Zach Abram. And they will use their final timeout. So 27 seconds left. Options running out for Pinkel.
Well, you got to start thinking about the hook and lateral and all those kind of plays. Gary Pinkel's looking at his play sheet right now and thinking 27 seconds to go. It's 3rd down. I have 2 plays left, basically to move the chains and stop the clock quickly. Then I can spike the ball to stop the clock without burning up downs. He's got to get a first down, then he can go up and spike the football and stop the clock, because it'll be a 1st and 10 and save time that way. He has no more timeouts, but when they move the chains in college football, it stops temporarily, restart it, spike it, only lose a second. You've got to make your best call to generate a first down and keep the hope alive.
And if you need to, after you get the first down, you've got a 6'4", 6'5" wide receiver, Justin Gage. You can take a chance in the end zone if you get him up against a small cornerback.
Well, you got Gage and Coffey. And you go fade to both of those big old dudes and get the ball airborne and let them out jump people.
Well, we talked about the level of competition earlier for redshirt freshman Brad Smith. It's far from over, but I don't think anybody will argue that this kid has arrived.
Oh.
And the University of Missouri is a quarterback for the next 4 years, like Iowa State at Seneca Wallace. And he's even larger than Wallace. He's at 6'3", 200 now. 3rd and 6. Moving the pocket by design. Throw is late. And it's intercepted. No. He had him available much earlier.
McCoy knocked it down.
Darius Outlaw. And he's, you know what, I'll tell you something, because I watched Outlaw the whole way. He didn't read his break, because that ball should have been gone long before that.
Outlaw, former quarterback, making the change to the wide receiver position. Abagu is the guy that, what's his name, the receiver that was injured? I'm sorry. Aboga, yeah. Aboga is the guy that should be in the football game at this point in time, but he's got a broken rib. Aboga, who knows if he makes that play, but here's the 4th down, the play of the game right here.
4th and 6 at the Oklahoma 35. Outlaw, he comes trips over to the far side, the wide side. Brad Smith has all day, and that's the end of the game for Smith and the Tigers. Oklahoma can celebrate. He couldn't pull the trigger.
And you go back to a courageous call by Bob Stoops on 4th down. Instead of kicking the field goal, he says, McCoy, I'm running the fake, and you're going to throw it to our big tight end, and you're going to throw a good ball to Chris Chester, and he beat double coverage for the winning points. Amazing football game. And, you know, Bob Stoops, I'll tell you, he lives to celebrate another day, as do his Oklahoma Sooners. And just a whale of a game.
So one snap, a knee taken, and it's all over. And Oklahoma escapes a quarterback they've got to deal with for 3 more years. So that'll do it. The number